Hello, everybody, and welcome to Star Wars Legends of the Sprawl at Chaotic Neutral Games. Just realised that camera, not that camera. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Paul, Felicia, Ed, and Corinne with their adventures at the edge of Imperial space. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder by using your channel points in the game. Check out the options in the chat bar below. You can also join the chaos by clicking the Discord link in the channel information, or vote towards a session twist by becoming a subscriber. So let's rejoin the players for their continuing mission, High Alert. Let's go back a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Woohoo!
A little more.
I had my hangers up.
We'll talk about the pub. Jeez Louise. Anyway.
Yeah, can you count us in next time?
I
did. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next session. Hope you're all well. I know mostly about what's been going on because you guys have been talking to me for the last half an hour. When we left off last session, you guys were preparing to leave because Lias Gran, the Doug Keith Richards of my Star Wars parallel universe, just realized I need to move you guys over here. There we go. Otherwise I'm looking over there and the camera's over here. Yes, the Doug Keith Richards of my universe turned around to Chevron with a phone call absolutely off his tits on drugs, and started explaining to you that a particular drug came into the place where he is, called the Cube, and he didn't partake. Well, he partook, but he's managed to use a cocktail of other drugs to stop it affecting him. And now he is hiding in this celebrity space station. And he is worried that he is being hunted by a lot of the other people who are in the Cube, who are acting feral, attacking each other, killing each other. And you heard, as he was saying this, that there was some sort of riots going on in the back. So you guys are still currently in your asteroid base, and you are preparing to meet whatever challenges come ahead. So, guys, what are you going to do?
So we've just got directions to this place from one of the other bosses, as it were.
Boss Ixo.
Boss Ixo,
yeah.
Yes, who was rather keen to help us out, I felt. But still, we made a deal. I'm not sure we got the right end of the deal, but we made a deal nonetheless. He's given us directions to the Cube, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But look, we're about to go somewhere that's high class. If we have any chance of blending in, I think and I'll do fine. But I think the rest of you should come with me. And I will
Do
take.
you mean that Victoria will stick out a little bit?
I'm not. Victoria's already got a pretty good, strong look, is what I'll say. Good, clean lines, shiny. It's pretty solid already. But probably the least work to do there. But the other two of you, you're coming with me for sure. Come on, Mandalorian armor has got class to it. What can I
That
say?
is true.
It's the chevron seal. It is chrome. It is sleek. It's all pretty solid. But yes, so I would like to take the other two to my tailor basically, and we will get them. We'll get them, and myself of course, and we'll see what we can do for Victoria. Decked out in such a way that they may fit in at a high class, where the rich kids go to slum it. We know, but you still would look like you were at the top and have fallen rather than the other way around.
Absolutely. I mean, if there was ever a need to use the one prat table, it's now. So. Let's see who your tailor is. Okay, your tailor is a droll called Ozan. Ozaan. Ed, are you doing your scribe duties, or do I need to fill that in?
I am, yes.
Ed the scribe.
I'm good.
Just give it to the droid. Yeah, so Ozan is your tailor, and yeah, you can see this little this droll who his hair has been perfectly styled, which is impressive because he's got hair all over, and he's got like a little waistcoat with various accoutrements on the waistcoat. He's got kind of strange stylized sandals, and kind of, I guess it's kind of like a kilt he's wearing as well. So just this little kilted space hamster, and yeah, he's got the he's got this very kind of hoity air to him, and he is on in Nala's Warren. So if you can go, if you want, on the way back from Ixo, you can stop him with the skiff and visit him there if you wish.
Hey, yes. Sorry. Okay. Ozan, my good fellow. I've got some refurbishment work for you.
He
canvases
picks up
for you to
an
work
eyepiece that's like a laser eyepiece. Holds it up almost like a monocle and goes, Chevron. Oh, I'm sure I've seen you in that coat before.
Yes. Well, it has its functions. Let's just say.
He kind of sniffs derisively and says, "You said you had some work for me."
Indeed, and I'll just motion to the other three. Basically, we're going somewhere upmarket. I'd like my friends to look like they could accompany me there, and something new for myself, of course, because why not? He
puts the kind of monocle next to his eye. Lets go of it, and it stays there, attached by God knows what. And he looks up and goes, "Sector of space?"
Somewhere near, and then I will rattle off the sector. I forget the exact name off the top of my head, but somewhere in between Yavin, I think it was.
At which point you can see that there's a couple of, they're not quite pit droids, they're small anyway, because this is the type of droid that doesn't want to have droids that are taller than him. And they come forward, and as you mentioned the sector, he turns around and goes, yes, and shoos away about 3 of them and goes, "Those will never do, those are Coruscanti. Let's see." Walks up and starts pulling, prodding, poking, like all of you.
Like pulling in my lecus.
Just outside the Gordian Reach, near Korriban.
Ah, yes, okay. Well, in that case, it's survivor chic there, of course. In the middle of a war zone, we're talking intrepid, we're talking epic. We're talking stay away from trouser stripes, otherwise you'll be killed by the nearest Corellian. So yes, I think we can do something. Let's see. And he does not touch your Leku, by the way.
No.
Because he knows better.
Yes.
Very
Pull
good.
But yeah, he starts pulling like your trouser leg around to see what shape your leg is, because it's too baggy. Yes, okay. Goes up to Victoria with her armor kind of, attached very firmly to her body. He can make out her silhouette very quickly, and he goes, this is good. I like this. I think a cloak, a few bits and pieces to go around the certain panels of the armor, and we're done. You just need barding, and refers to what normally you'd put on a horse, war horse. So yeah, just get barding to you. Other than that, just need to polish up the armor. You'll be fine. Now, let's see. Let's take a look at you.
I want a cape.
I'm going to do a cool check.
Everyone promised
Are
me
you
a cape.
having fun, Korean?
Yes, I'm trying to resize stuff. There we go.
I see that.
I was gonna show.
Yeah, he succeeds and goes, absolutely. Who would have thought it? Well, I've never seen a droid like you, sir. What function are you?
Friend.
It depends on the day.
Adaptable. I like it. I like it a lot. Then you, sir, shall have a cape. We shall integrate it in amongst all the other things. Anything else? Please don't disappoint me.
I mean,
What?
if you can make JT a suit, that would be amazing. Just to have.
No. You don't suit. You work with the body. You don't cover it. There are obviously conventions that you have to go for. But if somebody doesn't need to cover themselves, then why should they? Celebrate what's there, darling. Celebrate what's there. Yes, I think the right cape or cloak.
I don't know.
We will sort that out for you. I think the right cape or cloak would frame you beautifully. Work with what's there. There's quite a lot of custom work that's been done here. Very expensive, I can see. And you can see there's in the eyepiece that he has, you can kind of see that there's figures totting up. You have a feeling that this is an appraiser's eye. And he's looking at your bespoke kit and pricing you up as he's looking at you.
I'm going to lean over to Chevron and say, what's the difference between a cape and a cloak?
Paul will quickly try to recall. I think, isn't it the one that goes, the cape goes over the back and cloak goes around over the shoulders, basically, isn't it? I seem to recall.
Yep. And typically a cloak will go down to the floor, whereas a cape can go down to the floor, or it can go to the butt.
So I was wearing a cloak when
You were in a cloak, yeah.
I was hiding the arms.
Yeah.
I want a cloak.
A cloak it shall be. And he seems to be incredibly pleased that he's met a droid that wants clothing.
Yeah.
And a droid that is currently confusing his appraiser's eye because there's so much money in you. So he's just like, I can work with this.
That's only the stuff you can see.
Yeah, and that's only the stuff you can see, as you say. I mean, his appraiser's eye took one look at your arms and went wimp, 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 and started totaling up the value because those are IG-88's arms, unmistakably.
That's very expensive arms.
Mm-hmm.
He looks back at Nima and says, not a dress. You're going to need to look a little more epic. But I think some trousers, something that shows off the midriff slightly. The arms have to move, I feel. So let's just say no sleeves. To quote one of Nala's lieutenants. Sleeves are bullshit. Let's see what we work with here. And over the course of a few hours, hours that some of you are thinking, Lies Grant is kind of hiding out amongst a bunch of feral people on a space station. Nima, you get basically a pair of hipster jeans tight to your legs, a pair of very, very kick-ass boots, and you get what seems to be like a cropped waistcoated top that is a little tight around the girls. They're thinking, yep, this is a bit tight, and kind of pushes things into places where they normally aren't. But as he says, the arms seem to be nice and free and, free moving. It looks really nice on you.
What do you think, dear?
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
With you, Victoria, you have a cape, a cape that kind of goes down to your knees, and it's swishy. It's weighted in a particular way so that it's meant to be swishy, and he does make small material panels that you can put underneath parts of your armor, so that it almost trims the parts of the armor. So if you've ever seen in medieval games where you'll have several plates on the arm, and then in between each of the plates there's like little bits of barding, that's kind of what he's done for your armor.
Right.
JT, you have a cloak, a sash, and a collar that goes around your head, which is it just kind of fills out where your neck is normally quite prominent, and he's kind of just balanced your silhouette. But other than that, it's simple measures, simple attachments that now you're looking. I mean, General Grievous can eat his fucking heart out. You pull it off. Yeah.
I need more arms for that.
You've got them. Just left them back home.
I can see Ed writing on the list right now. More.
I mean, if he has 4 arms and a droid brain, could he theoretically shoot 4 guns at once?
There are rules for 4-armed species.
Yep.
That's all I will say.
Yep.
Okay.
There are. Yeah. You just need to look up the
Basilisk.
Basilisk. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. And they have all the bits. Technically, if you're a martial artist basilisk, you just have a vibro knife in each hand, you get basically vibro knife with a linked X number of times. It's stupid, yeah. Anyway, and so the 3 of you are neatly decked out, and we're going with a bit of Han Solo chic here, I guess. With a healthy dose of Lando Calrissian for those who have got the cape and the cloak. You are looking very kind of.
I got a crop top.
Yeah, you're there's no kind of boob plate effect. Because you don't seem like a mercenary. He's kind of assumed that you're like some sort of dancer or might need to run away at some point, so he's giving you something that moves.
Well,
he made the assumption based on your charisma. I
think he looked at you and then over to Victoria
Yeah.
and decided, that one's a mercenary. Probably not that one.
When you look at the juxtaposition, he can figure out those who are running towards the enemy and those who are looking for cover.
Yeah.
He's giving you clothing that allows you to go and look for cover. That's that. And for Ed, your cloak can, in the right circumstances, help you obscure your chassis in low light. So you can get a blue when you're using it, a tool bonus blue when you're doing stealth checks in dim light.
Thank you very much.
So, suited and booted. This, as I say, takes a couple of hours, and whilst you're waiting for him to do the various bits and pieces, because you don't need to be there once he measures you up, again using his eyepiece. What other preparations are you going to be putting in place? Bear in mind the mission that you've been given and the information you've been given so far.
There are, and I've forgotten the Star Wars name for them, but glop grenades,
Yes.
where you throw them and plop. So if there are any of them about, that might be useful, considering we probably don't want to go around murdering celebrities.
Yeah.
Yep. So the glop grenades, but what that will do is that they have to make, I think it's athletics checks, no, coordination checks. They have to make coordination checks, or they fall prone. Yeah. X4 does pipe up and says, I think you should speak to G1 23R.
The medic.
Guys,
Yes.
And he,
So it's not JT's job to speak to the medic.
Well, I can go and speak to the medic then.
our medic that we own.
Yeah, our
Use
medic that we own. Well, our friend, because we don't own droids on this base.
So I remember I distinctly
do
remember
we bought them.
paying for him.
You own
I don't-
droids.
I mean, I don't normally buy my friends directly, at least.
We bought them.
The only droids you don't own are me and X4.
Yes,
Well,
but
it's
true. But also, I don't like the concept of owning people. they work for us.
So they're unpaid employees.
No,
So what you're
Unpaid
saying, they're not
employees.
slaves, you're just an exploitative
The
employer.
prisoners with
Yeah.
jobs. Remember, they're
Yeah.
prisoners with
droids
jobs.
are weird. Anyway, yes, Geyser.
Ethics of droids.
Yes.
JT doesn't care.
As soon as they start to worry about it, we reset their brains. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, jeez. Come on. Star Wars Ethics 101. Anyway.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, someone needs a defrag. So,
Geyser.
hello, Nima.
Hello. Was wondering, do you have any? Is that what are the name? Goop grenades? Bloop.
I am not an artillery droid.
No, but do you know where we could get any?
I'm not a purchasing droid.
Why was that?
We're after something to take people out of action, but not permanently, let's say that.
Yeah.
Maybe you have something that you could assist us in that department.
Ah, is this related to the subject that I had a conversation with X4?
Probably.
You want to humanely incapacitate some patients so they can go for treatment.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
Because I thought we were gonna ask him about goop grenades, and I completely misunderstood that. Corinne is dumb.
Yes, your doctor does not know how to get hold of ordnance. Very well. Yes, there are ways of incapacitating. I was going to talk more about your tactic rather than providing many solutions. I do, of course, have these, at which point a tray of stim packs gets pulled out. Please do not use these for healing. They do not contain the usual form of dose. These are anesthetics.
So it's to get people to pass out.
Yes. For most species, this will incapacitate them peacefully, without pain, for 12 hours.
Very
Do you reckon they could be retrofitted to look like this? I'm going to hold up a tracking dart.
Yes, I believe so. I've
I
only
need
synthesized
to-
enough dose for 20 people.
I need to go and speak to Osner. And JT will disappear off to Osner to
Sure.
try and get some hypodermic syringe darts and also a gun to fire them, because I've just remembered that the slug thrower that did fire them was blown up a few missions ago.
Well, you did get another slug thrower.
Yes, but it's a sniper rifle, and I want to be able to carry my other sniper rifle.
Ah.
I can't carry everything at once.
Perils of having too many guns.
It makes for interesting decisions.
That it does. I have one sword and I stab people. It's an easy decision.
Well,
I'll finish up with Geyser first, but then we can speak to Osna. Geyser says, query, even if you were to incapacitate them for 12 hours, how would you keep them safe after the dose has worn off?
I'm sure there'll be medical attention on site. We'll just need to facilitate its deployment.
Very well. Don't forget that many of your weapons do have a stun setting.
yes, that too.
Yes.
I
That
recommend
one is also
using these
useful.
20 doses only in an emergency or when convenient. At a stun setting at distance, albeit shorter than your average ordnance, will probably be the safest way to deploy yourself for this mission.
Thank you.
So we've got 20 of these fake stim packs, basically.
Yep, which any of which can be converted into stun dots with Osmo.
Okay.
So, will there be anything else?
I think that's all the supplies we'll need from yourself right now. And obviously, I think we're all stocked up on stim packs in general, aren't we? One and all.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think we bought a shed load in the party bag before. So
yeah.
I believe that your purchasing clerk Nima has already purchased a great deal of them.
I'm not a purchasing clerk.
Noted.
To be fair, you're the one who mostly buys the stim packs and the repair patches.
Yes, because you guys.
Hence my confusion.
tell me, Giza, what do you know about oh God, Paul's brain? Space heroin, spice, and the and have you heard of the purported Emerald Road?
I'm afraid the name Emerald Road does not return any results in my databanks. However, spice and the various problems with spice I am very familiar with. I have had to help a number of crewmates go through a detox program.
It's very true. Do you have anything that could maybe help us detox an individual in the field, let's say?
No, unfortunately not. It is a slower process than that. Making somebody detox at that speed would be too much for their biochemistry, swinging too fast, to use the colloquialism, and it would cause untold health effects.
Oh, great. Tragic. I'm trying to just... Paul is trying to rattle off now, if any chance of remembering what Lars Grand said he had in his party box beyond the spice. Or did he
Pretty
just
much
say...
everything that glitter stim and a bunch of stuff you haven't even heard of.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's all right. Just checking. Yeah, okay. Cool.
However, I recommend hydration and also a stim pack itself. And he pulls out a proper stim pack, one of the ones that you have in your inventory. He pulls out a proper stim pack. A stim pack has a number of useful applications, one of which would be to stabilize somebody who is potentially under the adverse effects of an overdose.
That would
Yeah,
be
very-
useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time, Keith.
No problem. I shall move myself to the Lakota and start setting up my medibay.
Do so.
Indeed, I expect we'll be shipping out rather soon.
I shall be expedited. And the medical droid starts picking up various cases and things like that, handing them to pit droids, silently issuing orders of where to take them as the pit droids start putting them onto the ship.
Good grace.
They all have names.
We're going to get your darts, Ed.
Yeah, so Osnar.
Yes,
the
indeed.
Rhodian looks up and goes, "Wow, one of my favorite groups of people. Although I do feel like I need to make more effort to make sure I get visited by the rest of your troop. How can I help you today, JT?
I'm gonna pull out the dart. You made these three for me a while back.
Ah, yes, some of my better work.
Unfortunately, the gun that fired these was destroyed.
Ah, a shame.
But I'm gonna pull out. I probably have like one dose of the stim stuff.
Sure.
We need this, but they will inject this and a gun to fire them, a pistol and a rifle.
Ah, flechette pistol. Yes, not a problem.
Good. And do you know where I can get some Glock grenades? And a large amount of slap cuffs at cheap.
Somebody's looking for a good time. Slap cuffs shouldn't be a problem. You'll be able to get that from Boss Nala. She has a good supply, just in case there is ever an uprising. I don't think she's in danger of that, so she should be able to give you some of those. I presume that you'd be able to recompense her, or at least bring them back after you've finished. As for the Glock grenades, I don't think I can find them in any of the books. So what I'll do is just give them.
Ensnare is the thing I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of a cyberpunk thing.
Yeah, I was there thinking, is this a Star Wars thing? I recognize them, but again, I've played Cyberpunk and Shadowrun, and it sounds familiar. But yeah, I would say that you could probably do what is the equivalent of an explosive tanglefoot bag, but in space.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for that. Let's see. There's a.
Oh yeah, they're named after the 7 dwarves. That's
They are indeed.
So yeah, basically that Osnar says that he can retrofit a slug thrower pistol to fire the dart. So he he just picks one out from under the desk, but you can see he's screwing up his face because that's got a crit of 5. And it's inelegant as far as he's concerned. If you can find a flechette pistol in one of the books, tell me, and we can fit that in.
I know where a flechette pistol is.
Go for it.
It's damage 6, crit 3 from the smuggler book.
In that case, if you can find the money, he has
825, and it's restricted, rarity 7.
He has one.
Well, isn't that handy?
Yeah. The reason why he has one is that you asked him to make the bloody darts, so he has basically the gun he used to calibrate the dart. And yeah, I'm happy for that. The damage for the dart, the damage is that only for an organic. Because of the ammunition that you're using, the damage is only 1 for a droid. The dart will pretty much just break on a droid. As for the ensnare ability, the Glock grenades, instead of it being grease, which will make them prone, this is basically a glue grenade. And he will give you. Let's see, what can we do with that? So this is a riot grenade.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's riot control. So he makes these for Nala. And let's see. I'm going to use a stun grenade as a template for this. So. So everything that the stun grenade has, apart from the damage. Okay, so there's no damage to these grenades. It has disorient 3, and it has the ensnare trigger instead of damage. So that's page 160 in your book.
Rating. Ensnare has a rating.
ensnare. Because we are looking at damage, I'm gonna go with ensnare 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
So no damage, but ensnare 6.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like the idea of that. So the glue immediately fires out in every direction, Spider-Man web style, attaching itself to everything and makes the ground incredibly difficult to pass. So it's not just difficult terrain, it's damn near unpassable, because literally as this thing has exploded, these kind of almost pseudopods of glue fire out in every direction, and it works like foam as well. So even though there's only a small amount in this otherwise quite large grenade, I mean, these grenades are about the size of a rugby ball. Yeah. When they set off, it is a large amount of glue, so everything gets stuck, and people have to effectively hack their way out.
Lovely.
Yeah. And so for the ensnare, it is a hard athletics check to break free from it.
Lovely. Right, yeah, so how many of them can you get me?
Let's see. It's a non-lethal weapon, and you have the contacts within the local government to be able to source some of these. They'll happily let go of 5 of them, which is enough to take out a small riot.
Lovely.
Yeah, it does rely on people being grouped together, but yeah. If you were to throw that into the marketplace at strategic points, you'd pretty much lock down most of the marketplace.
So, the pistol, 10 darts, 5 of these glue grenades, and slap bracelets. I will speak to Nala about that. How much for the darts and the grenades?
So the grenades, for 5 of those, will set you back. Some should not have turned over from the page.
Damn it, we were so close to not doing a shopping episode.
We're doing one
Yeah.
little bit. It's all right.
Yeah, so the 5 of those, he'll go flat 500 on the 5 grenades. You've got the price of the flechette already.
Yep.
The darts he does as a favor. So I've got notes here that you are heavily in favor with Osnar because you've gone back to him so many times. You have managed to satisfy his agenda of Opus as well. So I've got agendas on my thing,
Nice.
which is something I added. So his agenda was Opus, and you've managed to give him a number of things that he can put his name on that not many people have done. And so he's gonna I'm gonna trigger gift on this one, and he's just gonna do the darts for free. He considers that to be part of his Opus, that he wants your great deeds to be reflected in his name.
Right, so once I fill these up and shoot them, can they be used again?
Yes, if they haven't been. I just realised I've gone lower again. I didn't do the Rhodian edge to the voice.
Well, of course, if the dart is intact, you can just happily inject it with whatever you want, and off you go again. After a while, though, the wear and tear, you understand. But other than that, they are reusable ammo. Just don't go firing it into any ribs or skulls.
I'm sure I can thread the needle between a couple of ribs.
Indeed. I wouldn't expect anything less. Well done, JT. How many darts did you...
I'll say that as me. How many darts did you want to convert?
10 of them.
Okay, so out of the 20, you've got 10 knockout packs instead of stim packs, and you've got 10 knockout darts.
Yeah, and I will send a message ahead to Nala about slap bracelets. Slap bracelets, slap cuffs.
Slap cuffs, yeah.
Not slap bracelets.
Woo! I'm on a rave.
I mean, we're going to a party boat, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You get to the what is effectively the town hall of Nala's Warren, which you also know as Nala's home, and one of her captains, who is a Gamorrean, steps forward and says, "I hear you need restraints."
Yes, we do.
How many do you need?
How many have you got? How many can you spare?
There's a huge toothy grin as this hog-like face, slightly drooling from one side because of the kind of protective jowl that they have. These are natural fighters. Although this Gamorrean is actually, compared to the Gamorreans that you have recently been exposed to, especially in one of the previous adventures where you had to fight two of them off, this one is incredibly well bathed, and seems to be quite, well, as far as a Gamorrean can be, stylish. And the Gamorrean just smiles and goes, "How many do you want?"
JT's going to do some quick calculations in his head about what he knows about the cube. How many people does he reckon?
You're thinking include, let's do the calculation. You think there's probably going to be about 200-300 people on the cube. That's including staff, performers, and then the guests themselves. For that, probably the number of celebrities is probably 50 or less. But when you think of all the chefs and all of the servants and things like that, then you're like, you don't know how many proportion of the staff would be droids, but then you know that they've all been killing each other, so you'd be lucky if there's 100 people left on the station. So maybe 150 to hedge your bets.
Yeah. I was thinking around 100, 150. Yeah.
At which point the Gamorrean goes, "Not a problem. Which docking port?"
And I will indicate our skiff.
A forklift droid comes out very happily, burbling away to itself, and takes a crate of these restraints, which was already in the crate. Apparently, this is just like a riot supply that they would use, and just drops it off at the skiff. You now have 200 restraints.
Lovely.
Bring back as many as you can. Nala sends her regards.
Will do.
Need any of my boys to come along? We don't mind a little bit of extra cash if you get my drift.
This particular mission assignment, it's to be kept under wraps. He's going to go and tap his nose, but he doesn't have a nose, so just
yeah. He taps his snout and goes,
"I understand. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You understand, buddy?
worth a try."
Always worth a try. Happy hunting."
And quite a jolly soul. Doesn't actually give you his name. Just likes to be an anonymous officer sometimes. If you asked for it, he would give it to you.
JT doesn't care.
He picks up his data pad, carries on walking back to this little side office. It's like a depot office, like an office you'd find in a warehouse. Goes back, sits back in his chair, and it's one of those kind of so well used office chairs that the spring's gone, so he leans a little too far back in it, and he sticks one of his feet up on his desk and carries on doing his paperwork.
Good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was JT's day.
Yeah.
No, this all happened within a few hours, and in fact, you probably did that whilst the clothes were being made ready. And when you return, you guys get all the clothing and are ready to head off. Anything else that you need for your preparation for this mission?
One minor thing, because we talked about it last time, and are there smoke grenades in this system? Not sure that there are. But
There is a type of smoke grenade. Yeah, they don't have it in the book, but you can find it in Genesis.
okay, I'd like to buy just one of those because I've only got space to carry one, to be honest. Those
Sure.
good old, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then the other,
It's a smoke grenade. You need to, depending on whether you want it on yourself or on other people. If it's on other people, you have to roll as if it's an attack. If it's for yourself, you just drop it, and you
Cool.
become obscured. Okay.
excellent. And the other big question is, do we
Price of that is
yeah.
30 credits, 30 units, credits, whatever.
It's pretty cheap for a grenade. Frag grenade's 500. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, it says here that frag grenade is 50.
Oh, maybe I've tapped it too. Yeah. Okay, well, cool. There we go.
Yeah, frag grenade is 50 credits.
It comes out in the decimals, basically, of our current party funds. But awesome. Okay, cool. And the other question is, do we want to take Yarn2 with us?
I mean, I was gonna say, we completely forgot about him in that last battle. He didn't do anything.
Oh, he was
Well,
there. He
he-
was fighting left, right, and centre. Didn't you see him?
Doing things
Absolutely.
in the background.
Yeah, he was having great fun. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have him in the fight and piloting him. You can just let him
Yeah.
come along and you'll get favour.
Yeah. When you mentioned Yontu, though, JT will pull out a drawl flash stick. I mean, it could be useful to have some more muscle.
That is true.
All right, so we'll buy a
live
bow
it up
tie
to
for Yarn2, and then
Also, Chevron, do your pistols have a stun setting?
they do. I don't tend to use it, if I'm perfectly honest, but they're there, certainly.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to hand the flechette pistol and the darts to Nima.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Good
Uh,
Our
stuff.
new pistol has a stun setting.
Yes.
Oh.
I am no longer a walking hazard when it comes to murdering.
I made
Well.
sure of it.
And
I'm sure the dart pistol will come in useful somewhere.
Anyways.
Yeah, I think maybe if you hold on to that, because you're a lot better
Okay.
at shooting than I am,
We should have said that just with the
and I'll
darts,
run up to people and stab them instead.
Are they just sorry because I must say I missed that bit earlier with the darts? Are they basically like instant anesthetic, if that makes sense, or are they just like a stun setting where they take some points of strain and you've
So,
still got to get through their
on a
strain?
hit, they will do some damage.
Mhm.
And the type of dots that he's got, they will do a stun setting damage. So the damage that they do is going to start removing strain from them with every hit. But also, when they get hit by one of these darts, they have to do a resilience check or completely spark the fuck out, regardless of how much damage was done.
Awesome, cool. So they are superior
for
to actually
the-
firing a stun.
For the modified stim packs you've got to go up and do a simple melee attack with them.
Mhm.
It does 1 point of damage. Again, that comes out of strain because it's not lethal. And then they just do that roll. They do the resilience roll.
Okay, so he's not instant night.
No,
although
no,
depends what
they
depends
still
what
get
diff
to
is.
resist the drug. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we know the
Yeah.
diff?
The
That's simple,
diff
so it's... Oh, the resilience roll, sorry.
for the resilience
Yeah,
roll,
sorry.
it's diff 3 for regular size for silhouette 1, and it's diff 4 for silhouette 0,
Okay.
which will also, I think, include the Doug. I'm not sure.
Right, well, the reason I was handing the pistol... All of my guns have stun, and this one, hologram of the sniper rifle, the non-slug thrower sniper rifle. This one can stun at medium range.
Oh, that's
Useful.
Whereas everybody else, you have to be at short.
That's true.
And the flechette pistol is also a short-range weapon.
Except me. I need to be engaged.
Yes, I
what
forgot
are
to mention
you-
that, as Geyser would have pointed out, the shock boots that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have shock boots.
Yeah.
I can basically stomp on people until they fall unconscious.
How is your brawl compared to your melee?
Well, I have one rank in Brawl compared to 3 ranks in Melee. But the thing is, my Brawn is 5, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're certainly not lacking. Yeah. Sure.
And the Sharp Boots do Brawn plus 0 in damage. That's 5.
Yeah.
Disorient 3, Stun 3.
It does a fair amount of damage. So, when you guys get back to the skiff, you can see. Actually, no. When you get back to the base, I'm going to say, you get back to the base, and you can hear X4 making the typical nervous R-droid sounds. The ooh, ooh, as it's chirping away to itself. Connected to the navcom of the Lakota, and X4 transmits to JT, we may have a problem.
Oh
The
dear.
routes that I can find going to the cube aren't great.
Are the coordinates set by Ixo junk, or is it the routes themselves?
The coordinates appear to be fine, is what you get in binary. But the routes there, recently there has been a hyperlane shift. So the galaxy is always moving, obviously, but it's rotating at slightly different rates. As a result, the hyperlanes keep changing, and BOSS, who I've mentioned a number of times before, that's Bureau of Ships and Services, constantly remap these hyperlanes and check to see if the buoys have moved. Occasionally, hyperlanes will go out of use whilst they have to remap them, and there's normally like a risk rating on the hyperlanes to see if there's going to be any problems. In this case, this is one such area, the direct route, at least, is one such area where hyperlanes have shifted. There is a safe route that will take you the long way around, but during that time, you probably find that you'll arrive there to either a dead Doug or a lot of dead people on the cube as it is, and time is of the essence. You know that it's going to take you approximately 5 days to get there anyway if you're not careful. If you manage to go like a bat out of hell, you might be able to go there for a few more days. And every day is a day where Liasgran is going to have to what's the word? Survive and evade. X4 brings up a number of the routes. One of them seems to be going through a nebula. Nebulas themselves, not necessarily all that bad, but you can't. The hyperlane stops on one end of the nebula. You'd have to fly through it out to the other end, and then engage the hyperdrive again and zap out the other side. A second one has a stop off at a planet that seems to have some sort of interdictory effect on hyperlanes. Same thing, in that you would have to go in the vicinity of the system, pilot out to the other side, and then engage the hyperdrive again. The final one, you can pretty much hyperdrive jump all the way there, just any number of hops. However, looking at the CSA reports and the BOSS reports, this is a route that has been identified as a bottleneck good for pirates. At which point X4 says it's a menu of bad choices.
Throw the menu up on the screen, and I'm gonna call everyone to the. I presume we're doing this kind of in the galley of the ship.
Yes, he's in the Lakota, but he can bring up the map in the galley if you want.
Yeah. Team meeting in the galley.
Okay.
Message to everyone.
Oh, group chat. Carl, team meeting, everybody.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got 3 equally, well, not equally bad, differently bad. They can't be ranked.
Right.
Nebula, planet, or pirates?
I mean,
I'm always up for some pirates.
I mean, that can slow us down quite a lot, though. What?
More than a nebula, though.
what's so? I mean, surely a planet can't be that bad.
Well, there's some kind of interdictory field just breaking up the. So it's.
Is that? I mean, you can't hyperdrive through a planet normally, can you? Surely.
Essentially, it's the unknown. We don't know what's stopping it. You can't normally hyperdrive through a planet, but this particular thing is hyperdriving by a planet and stopping. So we don't know what's doing it. Whereas a nebula is a nebula, and pirates are pirates.
So as JT says this, and he's mentioning the planet, X4 zooms in, so you get the big star map zooming in to this planet, and then he overlays a field, which seems to be a gravimetric analysis of the area. And you can see that this planet is working, the lines coming off it are a little bit like a bar magnet, but it's labeled as gravimetric fields. Effectively, if you were to hyperdrive into this, you would slingshot through what seems to be like a diluted black hole effect, and it would sling you out God knows where, and you'd have to end up remapping yourself if you didn't stop and go through this slowly. The problem with going through it slowly is that you don't know what those gravimetric effects may be as you pass through that system or its proximity.
And that's really not normal, right, JT? X4?
It's not common. It's not unheard of, but it's not common.
X4 says, yes, it's extremely... and this turns up, obviously, in your comlink, which by now you're quite accustomed to just looking at your wrist or your com, as there's this... And it says, X4 says, this is incredibly rare. It would be of great scientific interest, but it's dangerous.
Perhaps on the way back then.
I mean, on the way back, we can go the safe round. We don't need to go through any of these. The reason why we can't go the safe route right now, as I understand it, is because it would take too long time.
Indeed.
As you mentioned the nebula on a split screen, because droids, the nebula comes up and you can see that X4 is flicking through scanner telemetry, pay data, basically, and is trying to see what the nebula consists of, but seems to be coming up short. So this is something that, actually, I'm going to say that JT, you would know this a little bit, being that you're a pilot. Dangers of nebulas can be manifold. So some people like to hide in nebulas. Some nebulas explode. So if you end up firing your weapon, suddenly you're very quickly piloting away from a thermal wavefront. Some nebulas you can actually mine for materials and actually get extra pay if you have the equipment. Some of them you can find things like Tabana gas and actually end up refueling. It's a mixed bag, and yeah, all three of these, they have potential dangers. They also have potential benefits, and I've rolled for each of them because I like tables, and I did a VLOOKUP ran between table.
I'll be honest, I don't like the look of the gravimetric fields.
No.
I'll trust you on this one, JT, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about pirates.
But that's an hour delay as opposed to a day while we go through the nebula.
Pirates, at least I understand. You kill them, you pay them.
Plus, you haven't had a chance to fly your new ship, have you?
There's that too, I suppose. JT, yes.
Well, if it wasn't already clear, that's my vote.
Yeah,
That's
I was
one
gonna
vote
say,
for
Simon
pirates.
wrote it so that
pirates too.
Paul can get all the experience he can out before he
Yeah.
has to finish.
Two.
That's 2 votes for pirates. Me and Victoria. Anyone else?
I'm in.
Oh, I'm
3 for
outvoted.
pirates. Simple majority. Pirates win, I think.
What were you going to
Yeah.
vote for, Nima?
I was gonna vote for the Nebula, but
I must admit, I didn't like our last passage to Nebula very much.
what's that?
Okay. Yeah, and in all fairness, I have made several nebulas now and different things that they can do. I actually had quite a lot of fun doing it, but I'm a nerd. Yeah. Okay,
Yes, but
so-
space pirates and shooting.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. X4 plots in the route. Anything else before you launch?
I'll just say to
Okay,
Karen,
how
you
about
know, you know that planet was a Sith world. But anyway,
Yeah.
now we've made the choice.
Well, I was going to suggest we come by the gravimetric planet, or we at least go to the gravimetric planet once this is done, because that sounds interesting anyway. It's just we're on a
Yeah.
deadline now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
better the
let's
devil you know.
go have some fun checking out things that interest X4 and JT. Once we don't have a timeline to save some substance abusing celebrity.
It's a risk assessment table. Like,
The
how
most
likely is it to
noble of
happen, and
quests.
how bad is it? And when you don't know one of those things, it's better to go with the thing that you do know.
Indeed. Let's go save Space Keith Richards.
Yes. Okay. Sure. So I think it's time to do what we. Oh, and hello, Snipe. Let's
Snipe.
let's launch, shall we? So, which ships are you taking? I'm assuming the Lakota.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't think we need the transport. I forget the
No.
cruiser that we've
The
got.
skiff.
So we'll
Yeah, you
slot
don't need the skiff.
the money talks into the. I meant more the police. I forget the exact name of it now. The police transport that we've got.
Oh, right, the interceptor. No, you're going to a
Yeah.
space station. You don't need your land
Yeah.
speeder.
So I think for now we'll
you,
just
you can unpack that. Sure.
ram the A-wing into the into the cargo bay.
Your
The
V.
Lakota
Yeah.
for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your V. Yeah.
How many
So-
slap
Viewing, sorry.
bracelets can one person carry?
Well, put it this way: they're encumbrance 1 each.
Hello.
Oh, they're 1 each. Oh,
Well,
okay. Right.
That's just like weird thing where something's a 0, something's a 1. 0 is obviously infinitely cheap. 1 is horrendously expensive. But there we go.
Yes, so I'm going to carry 4, because that is the rest of my encumbrance.
Yeah, I can take 5.
Yeah, because that means you can restrain a certain number of people that's on you. I mean, you can have like a cargo droid or something like that follow you around with a whole box of them
That's
if you
what I was
wanted
going
to.
to suggest. I was going to bring some of the pit droids.
Sure. The pit droids can pretty much carry 5 each and just stay behind. I mean, they for the sake of not having them in combat, you can keep them at certain supply points and then just radio them to come up and give you more, thereby giving you effectively infinite shackles. But just note down how many you have per combat, and that is what you can carry on you now.
Cool. Yep.
Good stuff. Right. And then whenever you're out of combat, it's just assumed that this helpful little pit droid comes up and gives you more handcuffs.
Cool. Good.
Sure. Okay. I like the idea of that. Nice and simple, nice and quick. So, yeah, everything is in. So you need to leave the Sprawl. And I'm going to say that based on the fact that you've done it so much and your ship is stupidly outfitted now to the point where its front shield can laugh off the asteroids for the most part. I'm gonna fast forward this to only 1 check.
Ooh.
So and that is your check, JT. What speed are you going? And roll it.
I am going, of course, speed 4. Because why not? Also, my agility's gone up, so hopefully.
Woohoo.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh, fail. Loads of advantage, but fails.
Okay, lots of advantages there, but as you say, that there is a solid failure there. I'm going to say that you clip one of the engines.
Well, we got the people in the thing to shoot the asteroids. That's what the entire point.
Yeah, go on. So this, the diff to hit it, because it's coming at you as fast as you're coming at it. It's a diff 4. Gunners, fire your shipboard weapons at diff 4 at this thing.
Just remind me though, do we upgrade, because we've got all the cool
Yes.
upgrades, so do we upgrade the check, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a diff.
I mean, you
4.
get a round, you get a combat round, so yeah.
Okay.
And aim.
Oh, and an aim, sure.
And aiming does something huge because you've got a targeting suite and all the rest of it.
Oh, does
Which
it?
is why I
Oh,
thought
gosh,
this would be
I'm just, oh my gosh, getting my brain.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I bring 3 greens to this, what the hell am I rolling? But anyway, I think it's gone Badoom anyway.
It's agility.
Yeah, I've got a gunnery of just 3. But then what do I add to that? Just another one. Oh no, it's a yellow, isn't it? That's it.
Our chat is just a mess of emotes right now.
And
It's great.
that is not an issue.
If you look at page 13, I think it is.
Look in the guard book. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
So true aim, you upgrade your check, and you gain a blue when you do the aim maneuver.
Yo.
So you have 2 blues.
Yeah. So your targeting
I
computer
only
is
rolled
already
1.
painting it when it arrives.
Oh well.
Yeah. I didn't get to pick targets this time.
No. It came
Well,
up too
that's
fast.
2 successes.
And in fact, it happened, but I still want to do it anyway because I can. Because once per encounter, now this is my new lovely gambler power. I can re-roll any one of my positive dice. So I'm going to re-roll that blank green to add another 2 to the mix. There we go.
Sure.
Crack a 2. Crack a 2.
So Nima, you watch as you're there and you're painting various things, and this one just sneaks up, and you're about to hit the button to paint it, and as you do, there's this poof, as Space John Wayne style, both gunners lock onto it, fire, and blow it to Kingdom Come. At which point, dramatically, JT, you carry on at this breakneck speed, kind of almost with a we never talk about this ever again kind of.
Well, the reason he was distracted is because he was going through his inventory in his head.
Yeah.
Because I'm like doing all the paperwork at the moment. I've filled the bottom with weapons now. I'm on to like beyond the bottom.
Oh, this is why you need the app. It just scrolls past all the pretty things.
Oh, I like
Just
paper. I like
bigger.
I like
Yeah,
paper,
this
so
is
I got
fair.
paper.
I like paper as well, to the point where I have to share this. My daughter rolled up her first D&D character on Sunday, largely because she was playing on my old phone, and she said, "What's this?" And I hadn't deleted the D&D app on there, and she rolled up it's a forest gnome, but
it's a
she
fairy.
said it's a fairy. She wanted it to be a fairy, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's have a gnome, and she's rolled that up. So that's what I'm doing next weekend. Is she's playing the first D&D Lights. So I have made her a paper character sheet version of what she made on the phone.
That is adorable.
Well, it's certainly in character, Hermit. Yeah.
Who wants some grenades?
I mean,
Because I can carry 4 of these grenades myself.
I'll
it might
take
be useful
one,
for-
I guess.
We've
he hands
got
you a
5.
rugby ball, effectively.
Yeah.
It's a giant rugby ball. You're going to have to do kind of quarterback or hooker, depending on your sport, type throw to send this thing into battle.
I can kick it because it's a football, right?
Oh yeah, please kick it. Please kick it. Please
I presume
kick
it's
the
still
metal
ranged
football.
light, though.
It's ranged light. Yeah, it's a ranged light. It's a throw.
Good to know.
No, I'm not gonna kick it. Boom.
Yeah, you kick it. I roll a glitch dice. You're now stuck to the wall, and so are all your friends. Oh shit! This combat has gone bad.
I'm going to give one to Chevron as well.
I think I'm a bit laden down, if I'm honest, at the minute, and you can see that there's just, the suit is pristine, but there is 1 or 2 little bulges you can just see underneath, and I was like, I can't possibly take any more. Sheva
Right.
has like rubbish encumbrance because, well, so does Nima, but
Yeah,
still.
I'm not
Too-
carrying
too
a lot.
electric.
I got a chilled belt and a backpack, so I got like stuff so I can carry a lot more stuff. But still, my encumbrance is pretty shit.
I will hand it to the pit droids then. Are
Excellent.
there anyone?
Yantu looks at you, offended, being looked over in favour of the pit droids.
Can you throw a block grenade?
He picks up a piece of fruit. It's like a space guava, and points at a part of the wall and then hits it perfectly.
Fair play. Hand him a grenade.
If his range line is okay, then go for it.
Yeah, his range light's okay. He had a blaster pistol before,
Yeah.
and yeah, he manages to stow this thing at the bottom of his
Right,
his
yeah.
pack.
So I've got 3, Nima's got 1,
And Yantu.
Yantu's got 1, and I also hand the draw flash stick to Yantu.
Okay, cool. I'll
Oh,
probably be
other-
getting you to roll for him, but yeah, that's fine. You've got the stats, yeah?
Other
Somewhere.
story admin, the anaesthetic patches, because we probably should know who's got those before we start arbitrarily.
Yeah, distribute them amongst yourselves.
So we've got.
They have the same size as a stim pack.
Yeah, I mean they're encumbrance 0, so we can give it. I mean, we can just have like, we've got 10 left, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm unlikely
Yeah,
to use
I'm
them,
keeping all the tracker darts, all the darts.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
so
fine.
if we do 10 divided by 3, then we get 3.333.
Well, I was going to suggest. I mean, like, I'm I'm not even planning on going anywhere near anything that needs. I might grab 1 or 2 just to have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But like, the people are going to be using them are the people that are going to get up close. So
If
I'm
we
like,
give you 2, and then I can have 4, and Victoria can have 4.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Victoria is good at running into people's faces and stabbing them. But this
Also
time...
Yantu, because he is very much a melee fighter.
Oh, yes! Actually, might be better to give Victoria 4...
I'll just take 1 if I'm honest.
Yeah,
Don't mind.
if Victoria takes
Hail Mary.
4, Yon2 takes 4, and then I have 1, you have 1, and then we rely on
Yep.
them.
Yantu starts spinning them like knives.
Yes. He's got a bit of a confidence boost now.
Yep.
As long as it doesn't get to his head.
So I'm just mentioning, just like this might be riotous. Let's just say that there might be some smooth talking at the start. That's the duds. I sort of look across everyone at how we're all suited and booted, but I predict it's not going to last. So I think you'll know when to start throwing those.
Yes.
Yantu goes,
Don't worry, I've become a team player. I'll follow your lead.
Does Yon2 have an outfit? Did we get an outfit for Yon2 so he's not...
Or a bow tie.
yeah, I'm
Or a bow
gonna,
tie.
I'm gonna retrofit it. Yes, he has kind of got a suit, largely because the Drawl likes to put a bit of class into the otherwise Neanderthal Trandoshan, and so yeah, he has bow tie and all the rest of it. Yantu doesn't seem to mind. It doesn't hurt his ego, his street cred to be suddenly bounced up like this. As far as he's concerned, he's rolling with the right crew. There's a reason for this. He's down for it.
Yeah.
Chevron is team leader until fire starts, then Victoria takes over.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Also,
no sense to me.
since this trip is gonna take a few days, can I continue my training with Yantu on team maneuvers that we started?
Absolutely, yeah. You've got the cargo bay that you can do this to. Is there any particular combo trick that you would like to attempt to train Yantu?
I don't know any.
So off the top of my head, one of the best ones is the pin and kill. So you basically get Yantu to grapple someone, which will give you an easier diff. It will lower the diff to hit them by 1, and also upgrade your check by 1.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a diff 3 maneuver. Do a leadership check.
Oh fuck. What was that?
Can I help?
No?
No.
Nope. This is me and Yantu.
Yeah, leadership. Good luck.
Bear in mind, it's Div 3 because it's Div 3 and it's leadership because you're getting him to learn it on a moving ship in a okay. He's eager. My God, he's eager, but he just doesn't seem to get that. It's not just a case of grappling them; it's grappling them and maneuvering them into a position where you can.
Where I can stab them without stabbing him.
Exactly. Yeah, he's always in the way when he does it, and he's just over eager. And there's a little bit of the dinosaur brain taking over, the savagery taking over. And after a while, you're just there like, okay, we'll talk about this later. If you do it in a long downtime between two missions, I'll let you use your melee or your melee or your brawl to teach you.
Okay, good. We'll continue this later. You're getting the hang of it.
He kind of wipes the. I was about to say wipes the sweat, but he's cold-blooded. He just kind of cleans up and says, "Sure, we'll get there," and starts suiting himself back up again. Okay. So yeah, you get to the outside of the sprawl. You bamf away. You're training in that time. 3 days in, during one of your jumps, you jump back to regular space, and there's a whip, 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 whip on your console, JT.
Uh-oh.
X4, what's that mean?
X4 suddenly zooms in on it, and it seems to be a big, massive junk about the size of an articulated lorry spinning around in space. And there's a blinking light on it that seems to be getting faster.
Is there time enough to do a quick scan while I do evasive maneuvers?
Yes. Give me I think it's a computer's check to scan.
But what?
I mean, to ask X4 to do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he can do it. Yeah. So,
because
I just realized I only used. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So, X4.
What are we currently transmitting our transporter signal as?
The party shuttle from
you are a pleasure yacht. Yeah.
The pleasure yacht.
Oh, I was gonna say, do we have to be that right now, or can we switch that when we get closer?
I was gonna say just a YT-1300 until we get to the second to last jump.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. White van of space, because it doesn't have any mechanical effect yet. I will allow it. So yeah, you're as far as they're concerned, you are the white van of space, and with a success and 4 advantages, X4 immediately at incredible speed transmits to you, JT, that it's a dirty trap, and you know a dirty trap is a one-use interdictor, and you know that you won't be able to get the hyperdrive up and going again. It takes it takes about a minute and a half to replot and bamf away again. And as you're there, kind of in the middle of flicking the switches to get the process going as fast as possible, and is X4, there's this sudden boom.
Battle stations.
The dirty trap explodes, and sure enough, there is a momentary blip in hyperspace, and you can't re-enter hyperspace for anything between 1 and 3 minutes.
X4, your job is to get that back online. Everyone else, buy your guns.
On your internal readout, you get a "what do you think I'm doing?" as frantic beeping and turning of the turny thing from your astromech, and sure enough, what you expected as 3 obscured, not fully cloaked, but obscured signatures appear on your radar, or the equivalent of your radar, JT. And you can see that they have the transponder codes. They've been registered, but they've been registered as new transponder codes without full registration. and that's normally that it's a cut and shut or a re-repaired set of starships that the pirates are using, and they haven't been properly registered with Boss. Does mean that they're incredibly easy to notice as they appear. Your long-range sensors give you an outline and transmit it to your processors, JT, and you see a very, very weird amalgamation. So you can see the chassis of a partially destroyed Z-95 Headhunter. However, on the either side of these are the telltale hexagonal solar panels of a TIE fighter. And you look at it and immediately recognize a Z-TIE Ugly.
Beat me to it. Okay, we've got uglies. Chevron, if you want to try out your new ship, by all means, but just make sure you can get back in before we jump to hyperspace.
Basically, as soon as red alert, as it were, but as soon as basically the sirens went off inside the ship, basically Chevron just been like, "Kitty!" and then just like pelting it across the ship as the astro. Basically, in my dreams, it's basically a thing of the droid goes up, just as like Chevron's frantically just like hooping up the little ladder, and basically like.
Victoria will tell John to take Chevron's usual gunner station on the ship.
And
Hell yeah!
And I'll go to my usual painting targets section.
Yeah.
I have eyes.
You make it incredibly easy for all of us to hit.
Yes.
So there's a sudden wah 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 from Kitty as on the little readout in front of you it says, "Let's do this." The large cargo bay of the Lakota opens up, and this smaller ship ejects out the front. You should imagine scaring the fuck out of the uglies who thought they were only up against one ship, and a ship that's normally not big enough to have its own support fighter inside.
1300 at that, yeah.
Yeah. This Whitey 1300 just gave birth to a fighter craft.
They've already been established. A little bit in the middle comes out, right? You know, we've seen it all. We've all seen Solo.
Yeah, we've all seen Solo.
I haven't seen Solo, but I have seen that scene. The little landing shuttle. That's nowhere near a combat ship. This they watch as this tiny little blip comes out, and on their long-range scanners, they watch as the two V-wing foils extend out from your fighter craft ball, and Kitty gives you a full readout saying that your V-wing is now battle ready.
I mean, I'm just gunning up the speed. I think we've observed this before, but in Star Wars, speed is king when it comes to like fighter combat. The problem is, you can only really go up one speed class every round in fighter combat, like normally. But there is a maneuver that lets you gun it called, I think it's just called Punch It.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
The problem is that Punch It takes one strain for every rank of speed that you go up. My ship can go to speed 5. It has strain 7. So it's not...
Well, you've just come out of hyperspace, so you are currently moving at speed 3, so you don't have to punch it much.
Okay, I thought so about that.
The Lakota is currently at speed 3.
Right.
So as the V-Wing launches, there's just a little message from JT that says, "Yeehaw, cowboy."
Yeehaw.
Love it.
I am suddenly very tempted to order a Star Wars V-Wing Lego set.
Yes.
Another thing entirely.
I hate it when somebody says something like that, and immediately I go, "Oh, I want it."
Trust me, they have so much
Star
Wars stuff, and I've had like Star Wars Lego in my mind since someone sent that goddamn image in chat. I think it was Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, there was once when me and Simon were at DragonCon, and I think they were playing some sort of Star Wars RPG, but
Oh
they
my
had
God,
this
that was
whole
the best.
set of
Yeah.
Lego where
was
they
Dragon
built
Age.
up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't been to Legoland for years. The last time I was there was a few years ago when my brothers were like 5.
And we're talking
He's
about
15
real
now.
Legoland in Denmark, not the one that in is in
Oh.
England.
Yeah, the real one, obviously.
You ruined him. You ruined him.
I would. I'm a bit annoyed at it. Well, it's not the worst thing that's obviously that happened,
Nice.
But anyway,
COVID is anyway. Definitely
they
stopped me
had
taking my
they
kids
have
there.
this giant mini city, but next to their giant mini city, they had built up fucking Nar Shaddaa and several other places in Star Wars with
Wow.
Lego, and they had like on these little rails the different starships going around, and
Everybody is a child for Lego, and just hearing that, my inner child was like, "Yay!" jumping up and down.
Yes,
Yeah, but
I
Lunchbox.
might be able to procure those images.
We were in
During our
Dragon
break,
Meet,
I
and there
need
was
to call my dad. Remind me of that.
Yes. Lunchbox, yes. Working at Lego sounds like a really bad idea, because I assume you get some kind of employee discount as well.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
getting that what was it, collector's edition Millennium Falcon. I get 10% off, which means
50% off.
180 degree, 50% off.
Holy
Wow.
shit, Lunchbox!
Wow.
That is
That's
gigantic. Because fucking Lego is expensive.
My God, that temptation! I would not have much money.
Oh.
Yeah, jeez. That means that you can get like the collector's editions for only like 100 and something, rather than the ridiculous 250. Yeah, wow.
Oh well.
So when we were at Dragon Meet, they had a full-on
Yeah, I can guess that.
walkers versus Ewoks. They even had an Ewok and an Ewok glider, and I was like, of course, I forgot that they had that. This guy had clearly been collecting Lego and Star Wars Lego for so long that he was able to do a full-on freaking game. At which point I was like, oh God, there goes another life goal. Just add it to the list. These X-Ties are coming towards you. I would like both pilots to make me a piloting check, but it's not for piloting. It's for you to study the Z-Ties.
Nice.
And
What
the
diff?
is normally it would be 2, but the Z-Ties are obviously scavenged and rough. So I'm going to add an extra one. So it's a diff 3 piloting check to check out what they are like.
Ooh.
I've got it.
Wow.
Ugly.
Sharon does
They're
not.
ugly. That's what they are. They are ugly and need to be destroyed for that exact reason.
So, Chevron, you are repulsed by the lack of style in the designs of these things, that you can't bear to look at them. JT, you've noticed that the Z-Ties, although getting those hunks of junk up into space in the first place must have required a certain amount of savvy around the mechanics bay, they are handling like shit. Really, really badly. The handling on this is -2.
So, Chevron, all you need to do is outturn them.
I'll do my best.
Let's see how good of a pilot you are, Chevron.
Yeah, both.
Let's see how good of a pirate they are.
Yeah.
I'm furiously trying to reread the space combat rules because I read them all out when I bought the ship. I was like, yeah, I'm going to read the space combat rules. That was a while ago now, so I'm
Yeah.
basically like, oh yes.
Well, we're at half past, so
Yep, you get 10 minutes to look through it all. And I think I sent you the space combat rules myself at some point as well, didn't I?
Yeah, there's a crib sheet I think floating around.
Yeah, I sent you a crib
I'll
sheet.
just skim over it.
So we're going to take a 10-minute break, everybody, and I'm going to refill my coffee and a few other bits. I just read your thing, Felicia, saying what you're going to be doing, making a Lego set together. That sounds cool.
Yes.
That sounds nice.
That does
so-
sound like a good day to me.
Yeah. And yeah, Lunchbox, the Lego story is good. Also, the Lego house, the one they made in Denmark, I watched that with great joy, looking at why they were doing it and what they were doing inside. So, anyway, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back for a space combat with pirates. Arr.
See you very soon.
And welcome back, everybody. When we last left off, we were just about to fight 3 uglies, 3 Z-ties, which have the body of a headhunter. Basically, an X-Wing body.
Do you have any pictures of them, Simon, to bring up?
No, I don't. And all the pictures that I found, I don't have permission for. So just imagine the body of an X-Wing, but the wings of a TIE fighter. Okay. I did try to look in the books, the Edge of Empire books, to see if I could find a picture of an ugly, but they haven't put one in there. So if it's in the book, I don't have a problem using it because we are playing the game. But yeah, all the rest were other people's art, so we're not going to use them. Right. So first things first, initiative, please, everybody.
Well, I have my shiny priest.
No successes, all advantages.
Oh dear. Well, luckily we can switch around our things. So.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Oh no.
Well, I've got 1 and 1, 1 and 2, and 1 and 3, so mine's simple.
Paul, you're muted if you're talking.
I was, but it was nothing of import. It's me just struggling to count, so it's all right.
Oh wow, 0 and 4 to both of you.
Oh no! Oh,
Why do you have strain, Felicia?
Because I accidentally set strain on Victoria, not Chevron. That's why I'm allowed to. An old man and shouldn't be allowed near computers, apparently.
That is
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boom.
Chevron got.
1 and 4, and 3 and 5. So guess who's going first? So we have player.
Then all the
Enemy, player.
Oh gosh. Right.
Okay. Nice.
Fair.
Wow.
Take it away, pilot captain.
Quick question: what range are the uglies at currently?
The uglies are currently at medium range. And
Medium
close.
range, outside of blaster range, immediately. Okay. If I may, Edward.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
After you, sir.
because one has to. I'm of course going to just punch it straight out the gate, and basically take my 2 strain on my. I'll keep a note on it down here. Take my 2 vehicle strain.
Sure. Kitty goes wah wah as the engine underneath it suddenly kicks up into life, and you rip forward and roar. So for punch it, is there a check for this? No, it's just strain, isn't it?
No, I believe you
Just
just
strain.
do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
basically
just
that
strain.
you
So
trade.
yeah, and you rip forward as the V-wing does what it does best, and that is go like a freaking bat out of hell. Comparable only to the A-wing in speed. And so you're now at speed 5.
Cool. So that's my maneuver, and then I will do. Well, I mean, because I've got these fun toys, and they're at medium range, you say, so I don't actually.
They're at medium range, so you can go from medium to close.
Oh, I don't need to
on
move,
on
Simon.
them.
I don't need to move. I don't need to use my maneuvers because I have medium range weapons. I have photon torpedoes. oh, the toys you let me buy, Simon. So sure. I will stay tight in with the Lakota, and I will in my mind, I imagine just like doing a beautiful arcing loop around top of the Lakota, and as I come under her belly, just rocket peels off, and now I'm going to miss terribly, but you know. Right, so I've got all the cool upgrades to my targeting computer that Lakota has as well, because again, as is the name of the ship, money talks. Yeah, and diff, what is it? Just diff 2, I think, because it's pretty. I think ship combat is just compare sizes and
compare size. They are a silhouette. Double check. They are indeed silhouette 3.
I think I am also silhouette 3.
Yeah, so same as here.
Yeah, so that means you just go diff 2. Okay, let's roll some bones and see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Boom!
With one advantage, I don't get to trigger any cool particularly cool things with that, but I hit for sure. Which God, there's a couple. I feel bad for this guy
Assuming
because
they don't have any shields.
well, okay.
Front
Well,
shield is 1, so yeah, 1 black in that, please.
So apologies. So well, I can't. He says. Okay, so knocks off one of the advantages.
Yeah.
Sad. Or one of the
No, one of the
successes.
hits.
One of the
so-
successes.
Hits. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
yeah, you still hit, but
I still hit, but 1 less damage. So this thing is. So it's blast 6, which doesn't trigger because I didn't get enough advantages. Breach 6. So I think that's
Last
bad.
would have been good because the because they were in formation. So yeah.
Indeed, but
Breach 6.
Breach
Yeah.
6.
because
That's disgusting.
let me just I mean these are horrifying, these things. These are blast 6, breach 6, guided 2. So if I'd gotten 3 advantages and missed, I could have just said, oh no, it's just looped around next
Still
time. I get to shoot next round with it basically for free, which is insane. I only got 3 of them though, so now I've got 2.
Oh yeah, there's
and I
limited.
can't fire, and I can't fire it next round either because it's slow firing as well. So it's literally just
Yeah,
like,
so
way
yeah,
out the gate.
your loader is now loading one up this turn.
Yeah, exactly that. But that was, and that's what I've done. Oh, actually, other question: Can
How much
Kitty,
damage did you say, sorry?
sorry. So that would be that is a damage 8 plus my 2 successes, so 10 breach 6.
breach 6. So
10 breach
ignore
6. Excuse me, I'm having to look up the rules that about this being so freaking terrible. Ignores 1 point of armor for every rating of breach. Ignores up to 6 points of armor.
Yeah.
Oh
Damn.
wow.
His
Again?
pierce
Wow.
for
Yeah.
vehicle.
They cost like 10
just to let you know,
money.
a lightsaber has breach 1.
Okay. This is
So
like-
yeah, these basically shitty pirates. Because when I rolled on my table, I rolled pirate's paw on this one.
Oh dear.
One of the
They're gonna
options
be-
was it's the perfect place for pirates, but there are no pirates, and I would have just gone. So you arrive at the cube, and you'd be like, "What?" So I kind of like the idea of that. Is you go, "Oh, we're going to go to the place where there's pirates," and there are no pirates, and you're all sad. Yeah. So these ugly pirates, ugly pilots, believed that they were attacking the white van of space. And suddenly it gave birth to a fighter, which then gave birth to a photon torpedo, which then blew up one of their ships. Yeah?
Yes.
Strong opening to my career, I think.
Never underestimate a white van of space.
Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to get that as they're starting to see the silhouette of the Lakota, they realize they're not in fucking Kansas anymore and they're in trouble.
They might just make a
they're
round
trying to
check
explode.
and because they are opportunists, so why stay
They're
around them
opportunists,
for?
yeah. Well, when it gets to their round, yeah. So that is player 1.
I was going to ask, point, can I use Kitty to try and repair some of that strain? There is a crew action. I'm unclear on exactly what
Yes,
astromechs
there is
get me,
crew
other
action,
than
yeah. So for a crew action,
I
let's
can
see
make a leadership check
what Kitty
for you
can
guys
do.
to recover one additional to recover strain. I
Damage
don't think that
control.
works on ships.
This action is attempted to mitigate some of the stress caused by vehicle systems through combat or accident. Using this action, any player character who makes a successful mechanics check recovers 1 point of system strain per success. The difficulty of the mechanics check is easy. So yeah, let's roll. Let's roll Kitty's roll. Kitty's got a pretty good roll. So, oh yeah, done.
Hooray.
Yeah, just you watch as Kitty just manages the coolant systems like a pro, and you just watch all of your gauges go back down to a nice even rating after the initial fire.
Excellent. And that's what I done.
Excellent.
Do you mind if I take the next slot?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Cool, yeah. I am not going to punch it because we are only 1 under our top speed, so I'm just going to gently speed up a bit.
Accelerate. Yep.
I am going to
Probably,
take 2 strain
Hermit,
myself,
probably.
and the ship is going to take 2 strain to start making evasive maneuvers, as I also gain the advantage on one of these. Which one was hit by the torpedo? We'll go for that one.
Well,
the one that's hit by the torpedo, there's currently no piece bigger than a piece of bread.
It's like debris.
Sorry, I was reading rules. That's my bad.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll just grab the next one, I guess. Gain the advantage on that. What speed
Sure.
are they going at?
So let's see. Evasive maneuvers. Yep, cool. These guys are pegging it at speed 4.
So it is just an average check. So, advantage gained. I'm like spinning around as the V-wing is like spiraling around us and just coming around the back.
These
Evasive
poor
I
maneuvers.
have
So
no idea what's happening anymore.
Yep.
it
Robert.
upgrades the difficulty
Yep.
for attacks made against us, so they might get despairs when they attack us.
They may well do, which, considering some of the problems that they have already, despairs not good for them. Okay.
And we can ignore that because we have the advantage on this one.
Yes.
I suggest you surrender.
That can be done on your turn.
Yeah.
So you've evasive maneuvers, gained the advantage. Anything else?
I sped up evasive maneuvers, gained the advantage. That's everything.
That's everything. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Minor thing, sorry, just to get it right. I had rolled an advantage. I will just upgrade the next gunnery check from someone else, basically.
Sure.
Just give them blue.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds
So
good
give
to
them
me.
blue, not an upgrade.
Yeah, and my final thing, I'm gonna yell to X4. Looks like you're not gonna be able to get that on in time. Can you deal with the strain that I'm making?
Oh, I forgot to roll for X4.
Yes, or Yon 2 doesn't have a slot either.
Yep. Okay, I will do that quickly. He says quickly, calling up Beyond 2's character sheet that he didn't think he needed right now. Preparation. So that would be a vigilance check from. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So technically, X4 happens before the. Before things, and I'm going to give X4 and Yarn 2 their slot. They're not going to be able to swap with you because it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they're technically NPCs anyway, so you can trade with other PCs. Let's see, and finally, what is Yarn 2's? Let's see. For him, it would be vigilance, which isn't bad. It's two yellows.
Yeah, he should be using the same.
He should have been
one.
going first. I think he's just watching and waiting for your lead, and he's going to be put on the gunnery station. So Yarn 2 is going to get the first shot in, and X4 is going to do his mechanics check. Okay, so everybody loves an astromech, so let's do him first. And diff 1, boop. And triumph. I don't even know what the triumph could be used for at the moment, because it wasn't technically a combat action. But,
It was to fix 2 strain as well. It's like
yeah.
You can upgrade the next person's check.
Change the air freshener too.
It's such an easy job that not only does X4 do that, he actually corrects and recalibrates Yarn 2's gun sight.
nice.
So just no problem at all as the strain for the ship just sloughs off. All the coolant
Evaporates.
systems and things goes into that. So the next up then is Yantu himself, and his gunnery is ordinarily 2 yellow and a green. In this case, it's just going to be 3 yellows because it got upgraded by X4.
But then it also gets upgraded because the ship is awesome, I think. Cause,
Yeah, so he's going to do a true aim maneuver, so that it gets upgraded again, which gives it another green and a blue. So will somebody roll me?
Or do you want to do it, Corinne, since you're not firing at anyone?
Sure. Let's see.
Fire the gun. Feel what it's like to have combat skills, Karen.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's
give me 3 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, diff 2.
it's not 2 blue because he's aiming, and then the ship gets another blue because of shenanigans.
No, it upgrades the check and gives you a blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, the next person to shoot was given a blue by Paul as well, so it's actually 2 blues.
Yep.
Yes. That's why it's 2 blue.
And the diff 2 and the
Dick
black.
is 2. Ed, have you changed this roll at all?
You gain
No,
the
no,
advantage?
because we're gaining the advantage. So
You're gaining
it
the
cancels
advantage.
out
That's
crits.
right. Sorry, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds like your dice pool then, Corinne. I don't think there's much more you can add to that.
Do they have any shields?
Oh,
one.
yes, they have 1 black for shield.
Yeah, that's how I already added that. So.
Cool.
Okay, roll it.
Boom!
Yeah, so that's 8 points of damage, and minus
It's
2 is
linked.
6.
I think
Linked?
linked.
It has got linked. It's a twin laser. Yeah. So, and I'm going to say that the triumph is a crit.
Well,
because
doesn't that outright kill it with 2 hits, or is
Yes,
it...
but I like crits.
Okay.
So, roll me 2 ship crits.
Okay.
Crits are fun, Corinne. Just
Two
look
ship
at how
crits.
often I roll
Oh yeah,
them.
because it's linked.
Yeah, it's linked and crit.
Oh god.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it 2
Linked to crit
separate?
means both of them.
Is it 2 separate crits or 1 at plus 10?
2 separate crits. 2 separate crits, 2 separate
'cause
shots.
It's linked and it hits at the same
There
time.
are discussions on whether or not it should be at plus 10, and I'm like, it's 2 shots, 2 crits, man. Do it.
Critical, and then 1 at plus 10, I assume, because that.
No.
No.
Just 2 normal.
No,
crits.
because you get 1
They
crit.
happen at the same time.
Okay.
Again, this is widely debated, but yes. Just
Okay.
do, yeah.
Those 2.
Yeah, all firing from the ship or vehicle suffers 2 black dice, and the crew members are immobilized until the end of the pilot's next turn.
Loosen powered shields.
And his shield's in it. Yeah. So yeah, and he only had 1 shield anyway that he can choose on the back or the front. So yeah, this guy has no shields now.
Well, I assume I've
Not that he
disabled his spec.
lives, I assume.
So yeah, this is what happens. The 2 bolts hit. The first one hits the shield generator. The second one shoots and hits what seems to be one of the thrusters. They're going at such a breakneck speed that it just starts to spiral out of control, and shortly thereafter it explodes because
Good
of
shot,
link.
Jan,
So,
too.
yeah,
Very well done.
Well done.
you get a thanks, boss, over the tannoy, and yeah, second ugly dead. So now it is the uglies' turn themselves.
Run away.
Yes.
Bravely ran away.
So I need to do a cool check for route. So let's
And
see.
1 diff at this point.
I mean, I feel a
Yeah,
little bad.
what different all
Not
your
very
friends
bad.
being dead? I mean, you hear this voice over the comm. It's Trandoshan, and it says, "Damn you! Damn you!" And he's turning around to flee. He refuses to surrender per se, but he seems to have broken off combat and is now going to go at speed 4, and he's at medium range.
We are at speed
hang
4
on.
as well. So.
You guys must have closed to short range in order to use Yantu's cannon.
Well, yeah, but we were going at faster, so yeah.
I'll allow it this time, but ordinarily you have to use the fly drive maneuver to get to change your band. But
Yes,
we'll
because
let it go.
we were going at the same speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
They were
so
coming against us as well, so.
It's
So,
weird.
hence
Speed
why I'm
is like
saying
how much you're jinking and weaving, and then you have to
weirdly
still
you
maneuver
can
in and out.
accelerate, but you don't change your band by accelerating. You just change the speed at which you're moving because space combat. And
Yeah,
you're
and then
weaving
like
around.
it gets
It
cheaper
is
to change
weird.
band as well because when you're going speed 1 or whatever. Well, speed 0 you can't change band. Speed 1 it takes you like multiple maneuvers to change some of that. It's cool, but it's
And at speed 5, you can go from, what is it, medium to close, which is insane because if you want to do a flyby, if you're on, let me get this right, if you're at short, you can go in, fire at close, and then get back out to short again. something stupid like that. If you're at close, you can fire and then escape to medium, and it's like you got to catch up with me, bitch. It's crazy. The only thing about the fly rules that I'm not au fait with, and I'm kind of looking into, is that if somebody's moving at a faster speed than you are, you can still get closer to them.
Which seems weird.
Using the fly drive function. So
But again,
anyway.
it's because you have to think about speed. As again, it's about manoeuvring. It's about how much you're jinking, weaving, rather than literally how much you're going in a straight line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this guy's turning around and he's bouncing off to, at his speed, he was medium on Paul and he was short on the Lakota. So now he is, let's see. He is now at long range for you, Paul, and he's at medium range, I think. Yep, medium range to Lakota, and appears to be retreating.
Let them go, or
I'm wondering if he's going to throw you a
parting gift.
a parting gift. Yeah, I feel like it would be a little anticlimactic if he didn't.
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go on.
these people decided to attack us.
And this is honestly what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
we
2
know
minutes.
how to deal with pirates in space.
Yeah, before he leaves, he's going to basically empty his missile launcher at the Lakota to hopefully give him some time to get out. And so, yeah, he's going to do a single attack on the Lakota using his concussion missile launcher.
We have 3 defense at the front.
Okay, cool. So his gunnery is 2, and that is 3, and so it's a diff 2 because your silhouettes are the same. 3 defense.
I think our silhouette is. I don't know. No, it's
no,
around the same.
it's within the range that it's 2.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there we go. That's the roll. Yeah, he
Nope.
misses, and he doesn't get the guided either. So yeah, unfortunately, it just fires wide, and yeah, you hear this, "Damn you!" And he's going to
Pick someone on
light
your
fuck
own
away.
size.
And yeah, actually, he's going to go to long range on both of you, and he's going to take 2 strain.
Yep.
2 systems.
That's fair.
Yeah. What do you want to do, JT? I mean,
He's not an issue anymore.
well,
No.
Objective completed.
Yeah.
Fix the drive. Actually, fire on the interdiction thing.
The interdiction thing, the effect is from the explosion, so you know that this has got some various isotopes that the explosion just fucks around with space-time for a short period of time.
So yeah, it's
You
a
know
one
just-
and done rather than a continuous.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not a continuous thing. So you know that the after effects of the explosion, it's almost like shell shock, but for space. You know, just waiting around a couple of minutes and you'll be ready to go again.
Cool.
And you do hear, however, everybody apart from JT. JT will hear the conversation in full. You hear this on both ships. You hear this. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. As X4 and Kitty are conspiring with each other. And the long and short of the conversation, JT, is that between Kitty and X4, they have found the origin point for the Uglies. They know where the base for these pirates is, and it looks
sell
to
that.
be just a shithole space hulk that is being used as a makeshift space station for them. It's a dead freighter. It's dead in the water. They're just using it as a space station.
well, we can sell that information.
Yeah, we can. Sure, someone in the Sprawl will buy it?
Well,
Yeah.
you can sell it to bounty hunters. You can sell it to the Alliance. You can sell it to the Imperium.
Yeah.
You can sell it to the CSA. You can sell it to Boss.
Yeah.
There's a number of people that you can get that sorted out for. You've also got the 2 rough transponder codes for the 2 uglies that you
Murdered.
That you murdered. Yeah.
Nicely
Okay.
done, friends.
Well done. I
think
helped.
Everyone will stay on target for,
Well. We're a class act.
I think stay on target for about a quarter of a second and be like, no time, and then just loop back towards the docking bay.
Sure.
Nice flying, kid.
Good flying, Chevron.
Not bad for my debut, I don't think.
No.
Certainly not.
Very good. Yeah, I do get a bit nervous of you going a bit out on your own in such a small ship, but
Yes, but small does not necessarily mean not powerful. It has good cannons.
yeah.
Can you see the one from? No, you can't see the one from the other. You can see on the kind of video link between the 2 gunner stations, Victoria, that Yontu seems incredibly pleased with himself, more so than you would expect. And
Well,
you know,
You
he's
speak
kind
with your
of
prodigy.
he's
Yeah.
kind of sat there in his gunner's chair, and he's checking everything and all the rest of it, and he seems like to not know what to do with himself. And he seems to also be handling a token that is just off his left shoulder. At this point, if you want to make being that I don't think you've got a knowledge xenology ranks, you can just do I think it's an intellect check, but it's based on
2, because humans have 2 in everything.
yeah, intellect if you want.
Yeah. What's the diff, or is there a diff?
No diff.
Well, then
Sure.
I could succeed.
Yeah, the token that he has is his Huntsmaster token, and that is that all Trandoshan are much
Follow
like
their goddess, which is the Huntsmaster, and
yeah, the Rhodians and the Trandoshans, as much as they hate the comparison, have a similar hunter ethos. And you know that this is almost like hitting puberty for this Trandoshan, and you deduce that the reason why he is so pleased, based on what what you know about him, is that this is probably the first ship that he has shot and destroyed in space.
yeah,
Yeah.
he earned a big score. That is good. The score
Yeah.
master likes big scores.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will head to the other station, give him a good pat on the shoulder, and say, "Let's get you something to drink. That was a good shot."
Hell yeah! And he flicks the gunner station to automatic, giving it back to the pilot, and he says, "JT, give me a shout if they come back."
Warning about 2 minutes before we go back to hyperspace. Just make sure you sat down.
Righto, come on, let's get to the galley. And he goes back over there, quite happily accepts a drink, as this very pleased Trandoshan has proved himself as a capable gunner warrior. He knows he can cleave flesh from bone with an axe, a knife, hell, a broken table leg if you give it to him. He knows he's strong, but having the savvy to be able to destroy a ship. I mean, you know, Victoria and JT, you know certainly that these were piece of shit pirates. They were, they had the worst possible ships. But for him, it's a step forward.
It's a big step.
I guess after a minute,
Should
I will
be
join
celebrated.
the galley and be like, well, that was worth 3,000 credits, I think.
Oh, did this missiles cost
Yeah.
3,000 apiece?
Worth every credit.
It's all well and good until someone gets the bill. Like,
As
yeah,
long
I
as you
could have
don't
just
tell
fired
me
my-
about the cost, Chevron.
I could have just fired my blaster cannons and vaporized him that way, but no, I decided to use a crowd pleaser that can take out the side of a capital ship.
It's got the range. It's got the range.
Nemo was in blissful
0.1%.
ignorance until you told her how much that single round of combat cost.
0.1% of our net worth. Sorry, not net worth, our cash.
Okay.
I thought that was-
Yeah, our net worth
net
is a
worth
lot
is-
more with like the Lakota, all the upgrades, everything.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakota, to be fair, is the smallest ship you can get that can take a fighter. And you know, when the fighter goes back into the pilot bay, I should into the cargo bay, I should almost be getting you to roll piloting checks. But I'm going to say, unless you do it under pressure, you don't need to. And it does look impressive. I mean, showing my age, this is the space equivalent of Knight Rider going into the back of the articulated base, because what happens is that the Lakota and the Money Talks, was it?
Yeah, money talks.
Yep,
yeah,
money
money
talks.
talks.
See, my talks, yeah.
Yeah, the Lakota and the Money Talks both line up perfectly. The Money Talk swings its wings in, making it a smaller silhouette, and then it backs up as the door opens in the cargo bay, and they fit into each other like a pair of Russian dolls.
It's like Tetris.
Yeah, to the point where it fills your entire large, because you've got two cargo bays. You've got the small cargo bay and the large cargo bay. It fills your entire large cargo bay. But just this beautiful, I'd love to animate it, you know, this beautiful thing where suddenly this thing just goes swing and back and close, and it's just it's space ballet with ships.
That would do better with a 3D animation than a 2D, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Don't ask me to model the ships.
Oh, don't worry, I know it's way beyond our means. You know.
Oh, no. I'm perfectly capable of modeling in 3D. It's just that I'm not the best at ships.
So yeah, Chaotic Neutral are recruiting an animation department. We can pay you in banana bread and really bad puns.
Yes.
I
do
we
2D,
are happy with
not
what we
3D
can get.
as much. I've been toying around with making a 3D glory, but that is a slow process because last time I opened a 3D program, my graphics card told me "fuck no."
Yep.
It's
That
too
graphics
old.
cards do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the oldest thing in my computer, and it makes me sad.
So yeah, you get rid of these piece of shit pirates, and the rest of your flight is fairly uneventful.
There is one small event that happens. JT tries to sit in his chair.
Oh no! It doesn't work.
Not yet. His legs, there's just too much armor on them. Like, the arm's fine, he can get the top half in, but yeah, still can't sit down perfectly.
Is that what all the upgrades are for? He's trying to fit in his chair again.
No.
No.
X4 does turn around to you and basically says, "When are you going to let me modify that chair?"
Don't touch the chair.
And X4 just turns on the spot and rolls off down the corridor. As if to go, Tetchy.
Gonna spend the rest of the time teaching Bashful, Happy, Doc, and Sneezy their role on the cube. Like, what they should be doing. You're carrying this crate. When you hear the firing stop, call us and ask if you should turn up. the whole spiel.
Oh.
Good boys.
Oh. And orders given and nothing else to do. There's this sudden pop, pom, 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 as they all fold back down to their packing size.
And I put one on their shelf.
Yep, sure, no problem. The only other thing that happens is the route that you're going goes very close to Imperial and Alliance space. The contested space between the Imperium and the Alliance. You currently look like a YT-1300, and you suddenly get a long-distance blip. It's you haven't been interdicted, but it is at a common jump point in the area. That's fairly safe. You know that there's not usually blockades, and you get a long-distance communication.
Oh.
Unknown vessel. This is Venator class, and he sets up a string of numbers of the Galactic Empire. Can you please register your vessel with us? We're just it's just a long-range check. There won't be an inspection at this point.
I assume we still have something from the crazy hair to give as well, like an actual legit, YT of
I wouldn't
your.
necessarily use the crazy hair. Because
Okay.
that had...
I mean, we can just
Right.
use the pleasure
Entries on it, Yeah.
Just use the pleasure job.
No, because we're
They've
currently
already clocked us as
Yeah,
a
we're clocked-
1300.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
presume we have a YT-1300's, number.
Oh, you've scanned a few. Yeah.
Yeah. We've just got to figure out which one is the least likely to have been scanned by them.
I mean, just take one that was really far away from here. I trust you.
That does not say a lot in space.
YT-1300, why the delay? Can you please send your registration codes?
Not much we can do.
Yeah, just take one.
X4, find the nearest YT-1300.
X4 replies back, we look like a specific YT-1300. We may as well just
Use
take
it.
our chances with that.
You
Okay,
said
Yeah, that's fair.
what's the captain's name?
If they've already caught us.
Yeah.
Do we have any other information about the vessel that we're
No.
aliasing just out of the way?
no, just
Cool. Good stuff.
send it over. Yep.
Bing! Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I would like you to... Let's see, it's a YT-1300. At least you didn't choose something bad. I would like you to do me a... and anybody can do it, a deception check. Or what would it be? It would be... It's not called deception, is it? It's called...
Deception is...
It is
Deception
yeah.
is a
Yeah.
skill, but
Yeah,
is it
give-
coercion?
No,
perhaps?
coercion is threatening.
Yeah.
Coercion is intimidate, basically.
Yeah.
So a deception check, but the check is only diff 2 because you're the white fan of space. You chose well.
Yeah,
Chevron.
there's a lot.
You're up.
Anyone got any
That's
So
really a diff 1 with a +1 diff because of the fact that this is a professional outfit.
Fair enough. Just to, basically anyone. I've got 4 skill and 1 rank in it. So anyone got any else to help? Or just,
I shall double check.
X4 will give you a blue because he's basically filtering all the data as it's going out to make sure there's nothing hooky.
Okay.
Deception. I am not that good at deception. I don't think.
Lying.
I have 1 rank in it, and my
Okay, so
cunning's
yeah,
only
we-
3.
Ooh,
Basically, let's take the blue.
we've also got a destiny point flip,
Oh,
which might be
Oh.
worth at this point flipping back, just to make
Yeah.
sure we don't get caught on this.
yes. That
I
might.
would
Yes,
rather
so we'll
not
flip.
have the
Oh,
Empire.
yeah, Literate Hermit has just got... So, the light to dark, I'm going to spend straight away. Did somebody flip it? No, so light to
So,
dark.
we upgrading
Um,
this? Oh,
What?
light
What?
to dark. Oh,
Yeah, he screwed you. I'm going to flip it immediately and turn it into 1 red and 1 purple.
Well, flip that back then, and flip it to a light side, so we
That's what I
upgrade our
was-
shit.
Yeah, we should definitely upgrade ours as well.
You're screwing us, Hermit. Why? No, lunchbox, dark to light.
that was spend those points.
Yes.
Okay.
The war has started.
Right. So wait. So does that undo what Simon did, or does that just upgrade me?
No. What I used it for.
We haven't.
What happened is that Hermit flipped a light to a dark. I flipped the dark back into a light.
Okay.
And then brought it back down to 2. And then Lunchbox flipped my other dark So I only have 1 dark now, and you've got 5 light.
Yeah, so you
I'm
can
gonna
flip
roll
one.
it. I basically, I'm rolling yellow, 3 greens, and a blue against a red and a purple. So
Are,
you-
are we not flipping one to get an upgrade?
Yeah, not gonna upgrade
yeah,
it.
okay, that's fine. That's
Flip
what
one
I'm
to
thinking
get an
about.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
go for
doing the
it.
upgrade. So wait, am I clicking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oop, there we go. So okay, don't screw it up. Yeah,
Ooh.
money, baby, money.
Sure.
So-
You watch as your resident rat bag runs up to the application screen and quickly fills out a perfect string of lies, stating where this YT-1300 has been, who is on board. You notice that he matches everything. That Chevron matches everything to who is here. So it says that you've got this many droids, you've got 2 Twi'lek, you have 1 human, you have 1 Trandoshan, and he explains everything right down to the ship within the ship. The only thing that they would, if they were to look closer, the only thing they would argue about is the fact that you are not a YT-1300. Everything else is absolutely correct. A perfect white lie. Ooh.
Why?
Bringing
Evil.
balance to the Force.
Thank you,
Indeed.
Hermit. Thank you, Hermit. I feel like there should almost be a Discord role for the people who help me out with Dark Side the most. It's kind of like Sith cultist or something.
No,
Yeah,
that's
the-
me.
You can have the Discord role too. You watch as this masterpiece of deception gets strung out, and Chevron, the best thing to do is just to make this as arduous and bureaucratic and as boring as possible. And this whole manifest of really naff, bland, nothing ever happens here planets turn up on this manifest that you send through. And you know that whoever's going to be reading this is going to go, oh, we shouldn't audit this thing. It's going to take forever. You've turned it into an auditor's nightmare. And
Just
yet,
any place I would
completely
never go
uninterested.
is on this list, basically.
Oh yeah. You have filled it full of every bland, boring, naff, place that you can think of. Your consignment of blue milk and all the rest of it that they're quite happy to take cultures of, and all the rest of it. It's just like an absolute auditor's nightmare. And the second that he looks at it, he goes, "Took your time, citizen. You can go. Thank you very much." And the Venator
Bye.
doesn't even bother trying looking in your direction.
Glad to be of assistance.
Basically, Chevron wrote it long enough that it said, this is why there was a slight delay, but also this is total bullshit that they're not gonna read all of it because that's nah.
Yeah. You have a feeling that he got halfway through and was like, "Fuck this shit," and just rubber stamped your application to go forward. But your YT-1300 now, this particular identity of YT-1300 now has a Empire registered backstory.
Yep.
So the
Might be
people
useful.
well, no, not necessarily, because this YT-1300 is out there somewhere. It exists.
Yeah.
Unless it's been blown to Kingdom Come, the next time it goes through an Imperial checkpoint, they're like, what the fuck happened here? How did this guy get across the galaxy? Or whatever. So, yeah.
I think we need to buy some of our own YT-1300s and just stash them somewhere. So we've got
Buy a
some clean ones.
YT-1300, steal its transponder code, park it on some moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear shopping trip.
Chef was like, ooh.
It doesn't take much, let's face it.
It doesn't cost much either. It's a wide van of space.
It was our first ship. It was shit.
On the long-range sensors, you can see this huge, majestic Venator silhouette, which I think I have got a usable. Yes, the StarWarsFandom.com. You can use that online. So if I just grab hold of that, so that in a image in a new tab,
Alright, it's cool. It's like one of the ones at the end of the original trilogy, but sort of.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
old
without the
Clone Wars
coloring.
style ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice ones.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So yeah, you see this huge Venator thing at a very, very long distance. They don't look at you any more than just looking at your transponder. You're too far away for them to get a full silhouette. You just carry on, fly casual, as the phrase goes, and you angle your ship to where you're saying that you're going, and poof, back into hyperspace. No mess, no fuss. So, well done. No mess about there. You carry on for one more day, and X4 suddenly gives you the exit codes, JT, and you pull back on the lever because it's always a lever.
First we switch our transponder.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Okay. So you switch your transponder, and you can hear Clarity say, "Recalibrating transponder. New identity confirmed." And you can see as you look at you got a little readout of what you appear like at long range scans, and sure enough, yeah, you're a cruise, you're a pleasure yacht.
Thank you, Clarity.
Of course, JT. Then you pull back on the lever, and the lines turn into dots once more, and in front of you is a slightly clipped cube. The corners of the cube are slightly clipped. It's a polyhedron instead of a cube, so it's a bit of a misnomer. And as you fly towards it, you can see that drifting free in front of it is 3 vessels. One of them is well, 2 of them are actual pleasure yachts. The third one is a close the part of my notes. I do apologize.
No,
Tis not a problem.
I do the same thing all the time when DMing. I always have so many tabs open.
So yeah, two of them are Surasub Luxury 3000 space yachts, and the third one is a Wayfarer class medium freighter.
Oh. Do they look derelict?
No, they look new. You can see that there's lights on, but power's still going on amongst them. But they are currently apparently not being piloted. Instead of being docked to the cube itself, they are or having any geosynchronous position on them. They seem to be in free drift.
That's weird.
And thankfully, it's a very very slow, yawing speed to them. You can just about see that they are drifting, just residual forces in space. Thankfully, they're not going at any speed that if they were to bump into each other, they would crash. But yeah, they seem to be powered. Life support seems to be on, from what you can tell. No rifts in the hull, but they are just drifting in space.
Do you recognize any of them as Gran's ship?
Yes, you do. The Wayfarer class medium freighter is Gran's ship. If you remember when you first met Lias Gran, he was in Nala's daughter's ship, which was a kind of standard passenger stroke courier class ship. The Wayfarer class is the type of rough transport that Lias Gran likes. He likes to bring his luxury with him, but he doesn't like to travel in luxury. Typical kind of punk kind of styling that you would expect of him.
Oh yeah, you need proper grit if you're going to do it.
Yeah. And it means that he can get through most blockades quite easily as well, because not everybody likes Lias performances, and he says a lot of controversial shit.
Hmm.
He's usually having to escape from a particular moth or dignitary.
Yeah.
Typical punk, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, this is-
Incidentally, there's a really cool Venator class poster you can get from Amazon, which is like one of those call-out ones, you know, the cutouts things where you can look inside ships and buildings and things like that. It's beautiful. It's such a nice poster. I like it. But anyway, carry on.
So,
Well-
well, this is a bit odd. Should we call, or should we just try and slip up to the cube?
I think we should hail. I think that would be my instinct.
Yeah.
But if you think discretion would be the better part of valor.
I mean,
Who would you like to hail?
Elias Grant is the logical option, but that's the person we're looking
but
for.
we don't have his transponder code.
Well, we can hail his ship, but
Chev has has his comlink code, and the Wayfarer class ship, Chevron especially, will be able to tell you that is Liza's ship. And yeah, as long as you can see them, you can hail them.
Let's see if anyone's home aboard Grand's ship, maybe. But I'd be tempted to be quiet on our approach to the cube myself.
Hmm.
yeah, we can hail the ship and see if there's anyone that responds. If not, we'll go quietly.
Okay. So, who's doing what?
Do you want me to hail Chevron, or do you want to hail him?
I'll make the call. Let's see if anyone's home. So yeah, I'll just get exporter patches through to whatever Grand ship's called.
Yeah, Grand ship again because of the style that he has. Grand doesn't he doesn't go for lavish names or anything like that, and his ship just has a number. It's just a nice simple number that he goes for. So yeah, you go for that, and you can hear a very familiar voice say, "Chev, is that you?" And you know this as Katari. Katari is one of the crew on Liza's ship. She wants to be the captain one day. She's the first mate. And she goes, "Is that you?" And I put she is a Gotal, and so I put that on here.
And we're like, Katari, yeah, we got a call. Liars told us that something was going down here. What's happening?
Is the big man still alive? Oh, I've been hit in the gut. I've just about stabilized myself, but I need medical attention. But I got a couple of people on the ship. They're hunting me down. I've managed to get a barricade between them, and I've got blasters now. So I'm pretty sure I can hold my own. Get the big man and then pick me up later, yeah?
Yeah, we got dry. Well, it's just Chevron talking, so I can't.
You're in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You're in the cause when I
Yeah, I
interject.
was gonna say we got a droid that can give you medical attention when we do manage to pick you up.
Groovy. Okay, yeah. Damn you.
Can you give us any help? What happened here?
I don't know. I mean, they were partying just fine, and you know, they were thinking of doing a gig tonight. They were sending like invites to us all to come in off the ships and listen in and everything else. A couple of the bands are going to kind of do a mashup, you know, and mix and match, you know. They've done it before. It's a good night. I was just here trying to fix up a couple of faulty power converters, and the captain was told that there was a problem at the dock. I went in there and just got shot dead. I guess this Hulk's mine now. Assuming that I can survive it. Yeah, a few of the crew. Because it takes quite a few people to run this freighter. So the crew on this is, let's see, one pilot, one co-pilot, which is technically her, an engineer, a cargo master, and 6 crew. So, she said there's about 3 left. So most of them have died, and it's just her and 3 random crew now that she's defending herself from.
Okay.
The ship's immediately undocked. I don't know why. We undocked as well, just to follow suit, thinking that there was some sort of problem, depressurization or something. Then I heard SOSs from the other 2 ships. They were being attacked from inside. I don't know if anybody's alive left on the ships.
Did you get a good look at the combatants?
Yeah, they were just people.
No symbology?
No.
Have you got camera feeds we can look at?
Your bedside manner's not great, but yeah, sure.
I'm not a medical droid.
Nicely symmetrical with guys, I like it. Suddenly you get a data file sent to you, and it's a video clip. It's a CCTV footage, so it's not the best, and you can see as this.
You'd think that space CCTV would be better than modern CCTV.
Nah, the
but
space
it's not.
interference.
Yeah,
No,
CCTV.
GDPR, mate. GDPR. Can't take any high res.
Yeah.
CCTV everywhere, regardless of where you're coming from, has got to be bad. Otherwise, it's not CCTV. So you see a Togruta captain, male, stepping out of one of the loading bays, and the arms are kind of up as if to say, "What the fuck's going on?" And you can see a bunch of very well dressed but slightly disheveled, what you're guessing is bouncers walking up to him, and suddenly one of them pulls out what seems to be like a kind of a sawn-off shotgun variant of a blaster, and just shoots him in the leg, blowing off one of his legs, and you can just see there's blood just gushing over the floor. The guy who shot him starts laughing maniacally. One of the others laughs so hard that he throws up violently on the floor, and the others just start pulling out weapons, knives, batons. One of them has a draw flash stick, and they just start beating the dying Togruta captain to death.
So they
that,
look like.
my dear JT, is why humans or other alien life forms should not use drugs or spice.
What are you gonna say, DT?
They look like bouncers. They look like employees of the Cube.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they do.
Yeah, they're dressed effectively in suits. They have bouncer gear on, and when they pull out the extendable batons, when they which I'm going to give the same stats as a gaffy stick, when they pull out the batons, when they pull out the vibro knives, when they pull out the flash stick. Normally, these kind of things are they're kind of concealed weaponry for classy establishments to get control. They are pulling them out of neatly tailored holsters for the kit that they're wearing.
Definitely employees. That type of hidden weapons are usually used in classy places. I hate doing those
The
jobs.
CCTV camera ends with a bunch of people, not the bouncers, but other people, rushing onto the other 2 ships. And at that point, you can see the accompanying data with the file stating that the KT-416, which is the Wayfarer class, also undocks. and just as it's undocking, two of the people who are in the loading bay run onto the ship, and clearly that's how it started for Katari.
What is
Well, at least
going
they got on the
on?
ship early enough.
Sorry, was there anything that the crew? Sorry, just so I pause right on this. So the crew of Lars' ship have turned as much as anything else. Related
Yeah,
to you.
apparently
Okay.
so.
I'll be like, Secretary, was there anything the crew were doing that you weren't on the cube?
What do they usually do when they're on the cube? They try to score themselves, don't they?
There's a
Normally
bad
they.
batch going around this place.
Yeah. Lias told me before he went dark. Don't bother trying to contact his comlink. Somebody else will have it by now. He figured out that somebody was tracking him according to his comlink, and so he threw it into a ventilation shaft.
Do you have any means of ingress near you?
Not really. No, I've kind of put myself into one of the engineering bays. It's all
You're sure you're
bulkhead
safe
behind me. Yeah, I'm safe. I'm safe. I got a couple of the droids to pack crates in front of the door. They're full of spare parts, so they're bloody heavy. Even if they started using tools, cutters to get through, they'd have to cut through the crates as well. I've also reprogrammed the droids to defend me. They haven't got much in the way of weaponry, but they're strong. And considering most of these guys are acting like animals, the droids should be able to hold them down.
Smart.
All right then. Well, hold tight. We'll be back for you soon.
There is one option we could do. If there are means of ingress anywhere, we could send a small droid with some medical supplies to try and get close to you.
No. As I say, the droid would probably have to get in through a docking port, and if they see you docking, they'll probably run straight to it. Then the droid would have to make its way through the ship without being vandalized beyond repair. All of our protocol droids are dead. All of our astromechs, apart from the one I have with me here, and you can hear in the background, blah, 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 are destroyed as well. They seem to show no mercy even to the droids. Anything they can
so strange.
vandalize.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to send the video footage to Geyser to see his medical opinion, and I'm going to ask X4 if he can slice into the cube CCTV.
Sure. X4, a few seconds later, says that apparently the people in the cube very much value their privacy. He can see that just targeting the things that he can slice, he can slice the loading bay in time, and a couple of the storage bays that they have inside the cube, which are largely to stop it to prevent employees from nicking any of the supplies. But any of the common areas are actually in a hardwire, and
Yeah, I
you
thought
can't get
that was
into
the
those.
case.
They're isolated because
Yeah.
apparently celebrities like their privacy. And so he said even the loading bay and the cargo bays inside the cube is going to take him some time.
One last
Well,
thing,
it's
Katari. Oh, sorry. Is there a quiet way in and out of this place?
Of this place.
Or the
And
cube?
she sends you a particular docking clamp and says, if you go in there, they shouldn't be too interested. That's the cattle entrance. It's where they keep the cattle before they turn them into steak, things like that. The worst that you're going to get is a particularly angry nerf.
Oh, don't worry. I used to bench press those. That won't be a problem.
And so, yeah, she shows you, well done, actually, because I was going to get you guys to do scans and checks and things like that. But you've just asked her straight, and yeah, she shows you the one that is going to be the least interested.
It's always a stage door, you know.
Yeah.
We're the
Yep.
ninjas. Speaking of
So-
stage things, complete tangent. Hamilton is great.
I know, right? Have you finally watched it?
Well, yes, I said I watched it when it came out. Anyway, back to Star Wars.
Yes.
So yeah, when you want, you have a docking bay that will take you into the small livestock section that they have, so that they can kill, butcher, and serve fresh meat to the celebrities.
X4, can you get us the CCTV on our ingress?
Yeah, he can. He says, "Yeah, if I'm just looking for one, I can do that." And so,
Also, organics. Do we have respirators just in case there's something airborne?
I do have.
and yeah, you can see that X4 is swearing as he's struggling to do it.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, wow.
all we
But
have
yes,
is-
I have a respirator, yes. Do you guys have?
Yeah.
We'll just
We
stop
should
that.
all have that since.
I think we have stuff on the
Yeah.
ship, don't we? As well as
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty
I
sure
was
we
also
have respirators since we have the stuff to go out in space.
Yes.
yeah, that's probably something. I'm also showing the footage to Geyser. I can never remember which one is the real one.
He says that people have called him Geyser in the past. You guys decided to convert it to Geezer. He hasn't dignified that with a response.
Fair enough. Well, considering I'm speaking in binary, I'm obviously just saying that the string of
Numbers.
You're just saying what was it, G1 23R. Yeah. So yeah, for him, he's you show him the footage. Some sort of feral state. I think in some way it's disconnecting the civilized conscious part of the brain, leaving only behind the hindbrain responses, which seem to have been set to flight or fight. But I can see that there's a certain amount of maliciousness that's in there as well. Maybe it connects some of the forebrain. That laughter, and Geyser goes back to the part where just after one of the bouncers blows off the leg of the captain, starts laughing maniacally, goes, "This isn't from the animal brain. Indeed, using the blaster, and then after that, laughing about it. Humor is not part of the void brain, the part of the hindbrain. Strange. It's almost as if it has some sort of maliciousness,
So you're
cerebral
suggesting-
maliciousness placed into the effect."
You're suggesting they aren't in control of their own actions in a feral way instead of in a suggestibility way.
I would say that I would say that the drive behind their actions is violent and feral, whereas the temperament that they are given, I don't know. Is it possible to take a drug that would bring out your least moral urges? This requires extra study.
We'll bring you a sample.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna bring more than one sample because we promised the other guy some too.
my fear is we'll have no issue gaining supply once we're aboard.
I'm sure I'll have no end of subjects to be able. Sorry, he doesn't say subjects. I'm sure I'll have no end of patients to study in order to somehow diagnose their condition.
You'll have to be patient with Liar's Gran.
Of course, I have an impeccable bedside manner.
Medical droid.
Medical.
So now we have options. We can either sneak her in the back, just barge in the front door, or we could knock still and ask to be let in. So as knocking gives us the benefit that whoever's in control of this shit show might feel the need to reach out to us. can always play dumb, pretend like we're the newest bunch of dilettantes to come aboard. See if they want to let us in with open arms, or again, we can be a bit quieter about this.
Paul, seeing as this mission is based on Chevron, can you please roll me 1 force dice?
1. Special dice. Oh no, wait, that one is in the white one.
Force dice is not in your. Oh, well done.
Ooh,
Hallelujah. The force is with you.
Force is with Chevron.
irony.
For once.
So yeah, suddenly there is an open comms to you, as in you all, to the ship, and a string of binary and a familiar sounding cheeping noise comes over the comm. And on your comlinks, translated to from binary to whatever language you speak and have the setting on, says, "Hello, this is R3A2. Are you here to help?"
Yes.
At which point, we are going to put a pin in the adventure there and stop for today. So I decided to throw in what would happen if you rolled 1 black, 2 black, 1 white, 2 white. And 2 white is that a surviving astromech detects your presence within the system and calls out to you.
I thought you were going to make a call back to the first time you met Lias Gran with Bishop or BBD3.
Well, BBD3 or BD was with Nala's daughter, but is now somewhere else in my canon.
Fair.
Well, you know where BD is because you played in the Droids game.
Indeed.
And BD was at the end. Bishop was the super battle droid, wasn't it? It was
Yes.
That was one of the bodyguards, and he's actually in this because he belonged to. Well, he didn't belong to. He was employed by Lias Gran.
It was Bishop, Rook, and Knight, and unfortunately, Rook and Knight didn't make it.
Yes, they died.
Sorry, I found my notes right at the end there.
Well, Rook and Bishop, I think I may have mentioned it before, were actually a pair of Warforged that myself and Dave Hargreaves, one of my my mage DM, who is actually starting to write a mage campaign again, which is amazing to hear. We played Rook and Bishop as 2 Warforged who were identical, and at the beginning of each session, we would one of us would put both character sheets behind our back and shuffle them, and the other one had to choose an arm. And each session, one of us used to be Rook and the other one used to be Bishop, but we never used to tell the other players. So when they turn around and said Rook, and I go, "I'm Bishop," or they'd say Bishop, and I'd say, "I'm Rook." So they'd never know which one of us was which until they actually asked, because they were both identical characters. Love it. Although if I'd played one of the other players, I probably would have taken the medieval version of a Sharpie and kind of put a mark on them, mark the cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 11 o'clock now, so we're going to leave it here. Thank you very much to Ed, Paul, Felicia, and Corinne for their story today. If you enjoyed our particular brand of madness and you haven't done so already, why not follow us to find out when we are online next? At the moment, we're only doing Tuesdays and Fridays, but we've got other stuff coming up. I'm at the end of a short shot. Also, at some point, I'm going to strong arm Ed into doing some more experimentation with Genesis. I need to set a date.
Before we leave, I would also like to remind our audience that I am currently taking commissions. Please check out my Twitter in the doobly-doo and my rates if you want me to draw one of your characters, like I have done both Nima and Victoria in this campaign.
Yes, I shall show them.
And so many in the other campaign as well. And
So many.
if any of you haven't watched
That's Victoria.
I was about to say, Glory, if you guys haven't watched...
Benefactor.
There you go. Yeah, if you haven't watched Felicia draw before, it's brilliant. Yeah, check her out and actually see the process before you buy.
Yes, I threw money at her yesterday and got a pirate, not tiefling, Triton done.
Yeah.
For secrets.
We had a lovely evening where I drew Corinne's latest character
Yep.
after getting money thrown at me. It was great.
Yes.
Right, I'm not going to raid tonight, but we are going to be raiding on Friday. So any suggestions that we who we can raid on Friday, that would be great. So keep an eye out until then. Speaking of Friday, that is when our next performance is. So please join us 8 p.m. UK time for our long-running campaign, our D&D 5th edition campaign, The Benefactor. We will be there with, again, Felicia, Corinne, Nick and Kate at the moment. And they will be continuing their voyage on the high seas with a new challenge as well. And thanks to everybody for bearing with us as we took a much-needed self-care day last Friday. But we will be back and we will be ready. And even if we can't do that, I will be doing something on Friday either way. And I have other things in my playbook. After a writing hiatus, I've got a bunch of things I want to do. So more things will be coming. Thank you very much, Aura, as well. And thank you to Hermit and Lunchbox for fighting over the destiny points. Your changes to the destiny points will stick for the rest of the mission, so we don't re-roll those until these guys finish their mission. So that kind of back and forth.
I mean, they go back and forth. You can change them through the channel points, or they get changed when they get used because they
get used.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we will continue this as you guys enter the cube next week for what is, I'm pretty sure, the last mission we're going to have with Paul for a while. So we're currently writing in Chevron's bow out, assuming he survives the mission. And then after that, we already have plans.
Or the crew might suffer horrible trauma as they see Chevron pulled to pieces.
100 zombies.
Depends on if he decides to take that drug, he will be beheaded.
Oh, yes. Maybe.
We shall see.
Like a good time.
Until then, take care of yourself, and we will see you all on Friday.
Yes.
Good night.
See you now. Good night.
Bye.